this at the party just to get it started. Play this at the party just to get it poppin'.
The Google guy.
I'm a third into the episode today, which was Ron White, which is really good.
I love when he has Ron White on. Ron is such a... You've never seen none of his interviews?
Not with Ron White, but he's always talking, and him and like Joey Diaz and all those guys are always talking so highly of Ron White. But I always remember him as like
the blue collar comedy dude.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's not that he wasn't funny.
Yeah, I thought he was the funniest one out there. Because he was different than everybody else too. He wasn't out there on no hillbilly shit. He was just like a drunk uncle.
I was never a fan of
Larry.
Jeff.
Larry I could deal with.
The main dude.
Jeff was the one I didn't.
Yeah.
Or was it Foxworthy?
Yeah,
I was
Jeff
okay
Foxworthy.
with.
Oh, so Bill I think was the last dude.
That's your sign guy. Just
no, it was Jeff Foxworthy.
That's Jeff.
Was that Jeff?
Yeah. He say
Bill Ingalls. Was that
Bill Ingalls?
I think it was
Ingalls. Ingles.
You may be a redneck. That's the Jeff Foxworthy shit. What y'all say, Ingalls?
No, that's your. Oh wait, Ingval. I thought he had that. That's your sign, or that's your card, or something.
Maybe. No, here's your card. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's, no, that's definitely Jeff Foxworthy.
Are you sure?
I promise you.
Because Jeff Foxworthy was.
Nope, it was Bill Engvall.
Really?
Yeah. Oh wow. Oh no.
You gotta get shit like this.
I promise you that I meant it. I was sincere.
No, I know. I picture him and.
So
I ain't about to watch that whole setup. Sorry, people.
He plays piano now. He's getting really good.
All right. But that's there he goes.
Yeah, that's something.
That's how funny is that, bro? It's just how subjective everything in life is, bro. Even comedy, even something like that you think everybody should laugh at, it's subjective. These guys rock stadiums across the world, and I could sit at home and be like, that shit wasn't even funny. Like,
right. That reminds me, I was watching Joe Rogan and with Donnell Rollins, and for one, that was just hilarious. But
that dude was goofy.
And it was the first time he was on there. And what was it here?
Where was my water?
Oh, in the fridge. I spilled some tropical smoothie in there, so ignore that on the bottom shelf. But it's on the second shelf.
In the bottle?
Damn it, Wazzy! What the hell, man?
What happened?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you just ripped the handle off my shit. Wazzy smash.
Hulk smashing over there.
Can we please talk about how Hulk didn't smash shit in the last 2 Avenger movies? How unsmashing Hulk was in Infinity Wars and how trash that is.
He had to chill out. You know? Had to dial it back.
Jake, if somebody beats your ass, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just the next level of ass whipping that I've never received. But usually you want to get your licks back, bro. Yeah. But the Hulk was like, nah. And then he became a fucking stand-up guy in cardigan sweaters. There was. I love those Infinity War movies, but them and Fat Thor for as long as he was Fat Thor.
I liked Fat Thor.
I like Fat Thor for half the movie. Then I was like, okay, give me real Thor back, please.
Right, you get over it.
Yeah,
Fat Thor should have been part of Thor 3.
But going back to Joe Rogan real quick, he was talking to, because Donnell was like, it seems like everyone's got a podcast though, and he's like, yeah, but the way Joe looks at it, there's only probably he thinks that there's only 1,000 actual true comedians in the world. So he's like, so we're a rare breed. So what we have to do is stick together, help support each other. And he recognizes that all audiences are not the same. People are going to be drawn to him that aren't drawn to Donnell and stuff like that. So
true.
So like there's really no famine at all.
Yeah.
You know, it's just all feast. So yeah, let's all go ahead and do this, have each other on our shows and support each other and all that sort of thing. And that's the funny thing, like there are so many consumers of what have you, you know, music, comedy, and that sort of thing, that you can be trash to me and be selling things out.
Yep, trash to me and selling things out. And then there's another aspect of it to where you can be trash to me as a comedian, but as a podcaster, I think that you fire, or as an actor, I think that you fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, or maybe I think you good at one avenue, but trash at another one that you do. And then so I still fuck with you in the other shit. You know.
So like, what one good example of that, in my opinion, is Anthony Jeselnik.
Oh, I forgot about Anthony.
He writes great jokes. His delivery is god awful. Anthony Jeselnik, yeah.
Does he
dude
write
look
for
like
a show
Dane
or something?
Cook. I always be like, is that Dane? Like, who is this guy, man? He come on. I think he's been on Joe before. Bearded up though.
Does he write for a show or something like that? Or no?
I mean, I think he has written for a couple shows. He's written for other comedians.
Yeah.
I tried to watch a couple of his stuff. The jokes were really good. It was just the timing was.
And there's something to that too sometimes, where it's like, sometimes I like a comedian, but I don't think he's funny, but I like his stand-up because it's entertaining. You know, there's a difference sometimes between
for sure,
screaming out loud, laughing, and then just really being enthralled and entertained. Like that's why I love Dave Chappelle. I don't laugh at all of his shit, but I'm engaged in all of his shit because I'm like, it's just bars up here. Like this is entertaining, and what you saying is right, and it's kind of funny. You know, but it's not ha funny. And that's only some of them. Some of it's, you know, like Killing Me Softly. I'm laughing through the whole thing, you know. And then there's one that he dropped right after that. I'm laughing. But then, you know, even like that last one he just did, 846. That wasn't stand up. That was really just him sitting down having a conversation. But I'm all in, bro.
Like Mitch Hedberg did that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Mitch would hit you with them fucking one-liners until you laugh. Like,
well, and now I find that to be kind of impressive, and I find it to be impressive in like a Lil Wayne sort of way. Like, you look at Lil Wayne's lyrics, I don't understand how one line goes to the next one. Like you're not painting a story or anything like that. It's just this rhymes with this and this rhymes with that, and it's very abstract. And you know, when you're going ahead and just doing a bunch of one-liners one after another, like, that's very,
even his face,
like
like, you know, whereas with a lot, you know, hell, that Bill Engvall clip, like he was going into a story that's going to have several minor jokes, but all I got to do is remember the art. You know, and
Craig Ferguson has an amazing setup for the way he does his stand-up shows. At the very beginning, he's like, I'm going to tell you one joke, and that is it. His entire...
I forgot this dude was even a comedian.
I love him. He's awesome. But his entire stand-up set is him telling stories about his life, and then he has like one random joke at the end. He's like, all right, to get everything back together, I've got a joke that I learned from a kid in Scotland. And you're like, okay, all
right. So you up here stealing jokes
from kids, Scottish children.
Oh God,
I was a kid too.
Right, like, god damn, bruh. That's funny though.
He's funny as fuck. I love listening to him.
That's funny.
I love Conan.
See, I can't stand Conan.
Dude,
I fuck with Conan.
Conan looks like a kid that I went to, or I acted with, who was a pompous
I don't know if y'all
asshole.
heard that, but it sounded like my son just bust his ass upstairs, people. So R.I.P. to him. I mean, not R.I.P.
Wow.
GG is what I meant to say. R.I.P. to his innocence, baby. Continue. That's another big debate that people have. The late night hosts. Who do you like? Is it Conan?
Yeah.
Is it what's my other man's name? Jimmy? Is it
Jimmy Kimmel?
What's
had
it
his
called?
moments.
Yeah. What's the third dude I'm thinking of? That just
Well,
stopped?
Craig Ferguson had a
Craig.
There's James
Franco.
Connell.
But like some like
James Connolly, maybe.
What's his face?
And then they just what's his name just popped
No.
up. what's his name did pop up too. Fuck, I forget all these guys' names. Hold on, we go to type this in. Let me take a look at the list real quick.
Oh, Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon, yeah, but that's who I said second. There's another dude too.
Yeah. Okay. No, I thought you said
there was Kimmel too.
Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon. That's what
James
it is. Yeah, you
Corden?
right. Yeah, and Corden.
Okay.
Corden.
Yep.
That
was the one I was thinking.
Yep. Yep. So it's like everybody just choose which one they want to watch because most of these guys had the same time slot, don't they? Or is it one after
10
another?
And one at 11. So 10
was like the late night, and then there's the late
night.
10 was Jay and David.
I think so. Yeah.
And then 11 was Kimmel or was Fallon.
I think I would dig I would have been much more okay with Letterman if he wasn't such a dick.
I've not heard good things. Should we start?
Yeah, I got you. I like us to have them little combos to start it off.
I'm agreeing.
Welcome to the No Consensus Podcast. I'm Mike Jack, aka Water in My Basement Cuz, aka Wet Carpet Dog, aka Big Daddy Jack, aka Father of the Year. And to my left is Pizza Sauce Jake. Pita Sauce Jake, Sloppy Cuz, Fresh Cut Dirty Fit Cuz.
It's true.
And the scum of the earth. And then to my right is my boy Wozniak, aka Loose Neck Cuz, aka I didn't feel like putting on a real shirt today, cuz, aka I honked my horn today real hard and scared somebody, dog.
This is real of a shirt as my shirt.
Why
Probably
isn't
more
mine
of a
real?
shirt.
I just look at the collar of that shirt. That's why
it's an old
not
shirt.
real. That's the working from home is fucking me up shirt. Like it's starting to take a toll.
I just had this shirt forever. So.
Shout outs to shirts that last forever too, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the No Consensus Podcast. Cheers to shirts that we have in our closet from like high school and shit.
Yeah, I got one from high school.
Sponsored by Snoop Dogg Red Wine.
What kind of red is it?
Cali Red.
Cali Red.
It's blood red.
Snoopy D-O-double-G got a wine out here. A little sweeter, but it's still dry too. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty good.
It's earthy.
Yeah, pretty good. And it's very inexpensive too. So go to your local Crozier, Maillard, pick you up a bottle.
What was it? He also was on a he had his hand in some malt liquor.
I know E40 did. I don't know about Snoop Dogg's
No, he
malt
did
liquor.
for sure. But I want to say it started with a B.
Yeah.
Okay. The video there.
Too much fun in a can. Snoop Dogg's malt liquor under fire, under attack.
Blast.
Like, oh yeah, I remember Blast. Yeah,
that
Blast
stuff,
was wild.
That stuff would upset your tummy.
Yeah, I remember Blast.
You got like blue lips from.
Yeah.
Has he made a weed drink yet?
Oh,
I don't know.
He should get into that.
I know. Like the Marley family has like a couple of teas.
Ooh, a weed tea.
I don't think
that
it's a weed
so
tea,
fancy.
but it's like a chill out sort of tea.
Okay.
So it's like kava and.
Look at the picture for the Blast. Who did this artwork?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm telling you, upset tummies galore.
Yeah, bro. I remember the Blast. I got it in on the Blast one time and was not happy with the results.
Well, so it was hilarious. What was it? I was working at the county.
This isn't even like somebody took a picture of Snoop Dogg from one of his videos and then
put that over top.
So was this like
I can make that.
Their Four Loko?
Yeah, basically it was like a Four Loko almost.
Dude, so it was incredibly awkward. I was working at the county, and there's this one black woman who was on the team who like. It was hilarious because she's a super hardcore granola hippie, and I had,
granola hippie. I ain't never heard that before.
And I had this this book called Stuff White People Like. So we both took the test, and I got like 20% white, something like that, and she got 57%. So like I still like joke around and call her 57 and like Heinz 57 and everything. It's perfect.
It's so perfect.
Yeah, and she thought it was hilarious. So it was all kosher and all that jazz. But her and I were joking.
What's up, 57? I want to call her that so bad.
Well, it's so funny because she's such a hippie and hipster, and into her craft beers and all that jazz. But like every once in a while, she'll go ahead and like remind people, like, "Hey, I'm from exit 9."
Come up off the freeway. If you went for around here, you better be easy. That's Joy Road for my white friends who don't know about that exit.
But yeah, so it was right around that time. Blast had come out, and her and I were joking about it a lot. And another black coworker, Michelle, was having a house party and invited me over. And so I'm talking to Sasha, and I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and bring some Blast. It'll be hilarious. So I get like the blue raspberry or whatever, bring a 6-pack of it. I'm the only white guy there, and I show up with this Blast, my Colt 45.
Well,
I felt really awkward. It was a great time, though.
Did you drink that shit?
I drink one.
did you bring them?
My lips were blue.
Were the bottles inside, or were you like, all right, I'm just gonna put it by the door?
Yeah.
Here,
Did you have a paper bag over them? What's going on?
Well, no, because they're not 40s or anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it was like a 6-pack sort of thing. So I came with that, and everyone got a good laugh at it. Like, oh, the one white guy here drinking.
Colt 45 and 2 zigzags. Baby, that's all we need. That's crazy.
I can't imagine what a Colt 45 fruity drink would attempt to taste like.
It's not good. No. And like Jake said, you get the blue lips. It's just not a good experience. Bro. You gotta have a different type of stomach.
Yeah.
Malt liquor in general, bro, is just not for me, bro. That's what we used to get down on, dog. We was broke college kids. We go up to the store. First of all, now that I think about it, I wasn't 21 until I was a junior, but I had this liquor store sold to us nonstop. Like, they didn't ask for no IDs. They was like, go ahead, bro, drink up. We was getting liquor nonstop.
Your money's still green,
bro. That's what I'm saying. So shout outs to that liquor store for still not being closed down too. I'm about to stop over there this week. But that's all we could afford. A half gallon of Extra Smooth was $20, 21 something after tax, or 22 something after tax, and then you get you a couple 40s. Milwaukee's Best was 89 cents a can.
Beast Ice was the way I went.
See, like you get you
40 night.
So you get you a half G of Extra Smooth, then you get some like cranberry juice or something to go with it, some ice, and then you get you a personal 40 to go to chase the liquor with, and y'all fucked up all night.
Justin and I have been drinking 40s on the show, and I actually really don't mind them as long as they don't have ice or natural in the name.
Yeah,
as long as
Colt 45 is I like it. I think that's good. I'm just saying, as far as your stomach go, it's just a different type of feeling sometimes if you're not used to drinking that much beer at that alcohol content
at that rate. Because you gotta drink it before it warms up. Yep. You gotta get through it before it warms up.
That was the killer of Edward 40 Hands. Is when you're at the bottom, it's all warm and.
Yep. Oh yeah,
foamy.
You can't piss until you're done with both.
I can't remember what the hell it was.
I still haven't had a game of Edward 40 Hands in my life.
Really?
Yeah. We always talk about it, and then we never set it up.
It is the worst idea ever.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. But it's the worst idea
ever. So is it a game where I gotta finish mine before you finish yours? Is that what it is? Or is it just take your time, but you can't drink nothing else till you finish these 2 40s?
Well, I mean, if you're doing Edward 40 Hands, all you have are your hands holding a bottle.
Yeah, okay,
so
you can't do nothing else. Yeah.
No, so like the first half is casual. You're just chilling, talking, watching a movie. Halfway through, you have to piss.
If
you don't have anybody who can unzip you.
Wazzy, you've played this game before. How many times have you had buddies play around with you?
Buddies, none.
Oh, so they was just passerbys. Hey, bro, come on, bro.
Hey,
You know what's going on.
Come
right
on, you
now.
see what's up, bro. Come on now.
I'm in the bathroom. I've got two beers in my hand. What do you think needs to happen?
Just close your
Wait,
eyes.
so you're going to the bathroom without a partner first? Like you're like, I'm just gonna go in there and God will provide.
God will provide. Maybe you just assume if I get hard, it'll poke itself out, and then I can start
Normally-
pissing. Yeah.
Y'all got some other type of dicks, apparently. I've never had that thought.
Have you ever ran through 240s in like an hour?
Yes, bro. That's why I don't drink beer that often, man. Beer makes me piss immediately, dog. Like seriously. So when I drink beer, I already know what type of night I'm gonna have, and that's why when we go out to happy hours and shit, I try not to drink a lot of beer, even though that's what be on fucking happy hour. Like, oh, we got the half off brews. Of course, y'all do. I love beer.
Oh, and then
but
you have
now
to
everybody's
drive
like, that motherfucker Mike got a fucking UTI or something. Why he keep going to the bathroom so much? Like, so yeah, I gotta limit my beer intake. But
Or you could just go ahead and get that catheter, you know. I mean, there's options.
Or a
the
diaper.
big boy diapers too.
Yep. Yeah. Just
Big
ride
boy
it out.
Diapers are a better idea than just putting a diaper in your pants. And
Yeah, and that catheter shit is not it, boy. I had a catheter before.
What would you do? Like, do you have to get one of those like Camelback like packs?
Oh, like
and
where
stuff
with the
and, like,
piss go?
like a
and
bag.
like have it go up there?
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, because like
Or
if you got
taping a bag to your
nah, because like it's like a fanny pack. You know when dudes
Oh,
got like
okay.
Crohn's, your brother, right? I don't know if you got that bad.
He ain't got no shit.
But they
sack.
gotta have a shit sack, right? It's like a fanny pack or something.
Yeah.
They just have a piss pack. The issue is piss is gonna fill up whatever pack you got pretty damn quick.
Right.
So I don't know. And I don't know if I can sit here and talk to y'all look
And piss.
piss.
I mean,
Have you never gone tubing?
I've done that in a river. Like,
Hey, you know I've gone to, man. And we was on the water for a long time. So you know I'm pissed, but I closed my eyes.
Why?
And I was by myself.
why?
La 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 la.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
I mean, you were downstream, so
Yeah.
it would have been better
Oh,
for us
fuck.
anyway.
I was definitely, yeah, never mind. I don't even want to bring that up.
Yeah.
Wazzy, I just want to thank you so much for this clip. That because the first thing I was going to do when we walked in here was ask you if like what you've been thinking about and what you got like on deck for our topic today.
Promise I won't take up too much of your time
But
here.
then you sent us this, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And
Have you seen?
I've seen it going around and
Okay.
stuff, but I haven't clicked play yet.
so this one I'm going
So,
to do, Wazzy.
the
I'm going to try
original-
to play it not on YouTube and see if that.
The
Doesn't
original
get us
video
muted.
is like 2 hours because it's a short clip it out of an entire city
wow.
council.
Oh.
I'm about to say, ain't no
he's
way
only
he,
talking for,
yeah,
like,
No,
2
no,
minutes.
yeah, it's like,
I'm like,
his point is like 2 minutes.
I got you.
they say makes funny plea. Let me tell y'all something. This wasn't funny to him.
I think
This-
it was.
I mean, but just
So,
the
it's like some
okay,
Andy
you'll
Kaufman,
see, you'll
right?
see.
So, dude,
but-
like first thing I saw him, like he was like it crowd, except like sidecast. Like he could have been that main dude with the long brown hair. Like he almost looks like him.
Oh,
My name is
the,
Ander Christensen.
okay, yeah. Here we go, people.
1212 Twin Ridge Road. Lincoln has the opportunity to be a social leader in this country. We have been casually ignoring a problem that has gotten so out of control that our children are throwing around names and words without even understanding their true meaning.
It's terrible.
Treating things as though they're normal. I go into nice
It's
family
not normal.
restaurants and I see people throwing this name around and pretending as though everything is just fine.
It's not.
I'm talking about boneless chicken wings.
Exactly.
I propose that we as a city
on.
remove
So someone in the back was laughing.
Excuse me. Come on. I propose the city
Yeah.
remove the. Excuse me. I'm trying to. Excuse me. Come on. I propose we as a city
she
remove
wanted to let
the
it.
name
Look
boneless
at her.
wings from our menus and
I
from,
just
I
one more
propose that we
time.
as a city
Just listen.
remove the. Excuse me. I'm trying to. Excuse me. Come on. I propose that we
Don't
as a
laugh
city
while he's
remove
fucking talking.
the name boneless wings from our menus and from our hearts. These are our reasons why. Number one, nothing about boneless chicken wings actually come from the wing of a chicken. We would be disgusted if a butcher was mislabeling their cuts of meats, but then we go around and pretending as though the breast of the chicken is its wing.
The breast of the chicken is not its wing.
Boneless chicken wings are just chicken tenders, which are already boneless. I don't go to order boneless tacos. I don't go and order boneless club sandwiches. I don't ask for boneless auto repair. It's just what's expected. And then number three, we need to raise our children better. Our children are raised being afraid of having bones attached to their meat. That's where meat comes from. It grows on bones.
That's where the fucking meat comes from.
We need to teach them that the wing of a chicken is from a chicken, and it's delicious. I propose that we rename boneless wings in the city of Lincoln. We can call them buffalo-style chicken tenders.
Check.
We can call them wet tenders.
Check.
We can call them saucy nugs or trash. We can take these steps
or
to show the
trash.
country that where we stand, and that we understand that we can take these steps and show the country that we call them saucy nugs or trash. We can take these steps and show the country that where we stand, and that we understand that we've been living a lie for far too long, and we know it because we feel it in our bones.
Take the blue pill.
Thank you.
No, that's red pill, bro.
No, I'm saying
He should
take the blue pill.
Yeah,
Because
he's too woke.
Yeah, he's too woke. Take the blue pill, bro.
Like, that's a funny thing to me. Like, the far right guys use the terminology red pill so much, and they shit on being woke, but red pill means being woke. It's just your own ideology's woke.
Yep, you gotta be woke. Look at this man. He's like, I've had to sit through some bullshit all day, so thank you for this.
Just comment here. For the record, that's my son.
And white folk, I'm tired of y'all.
Wait, what?
White folk, I'm tired of y'all.
Well,
City council.
DL, you come in here fresh off of this shit, bro. That's crazy. The DL, bro, I appreciate you. Wow, wait, is that really his son? I didn't hear that part the first time I watched this video. Is this really his son?
I'm guessing it is.
Or did he just adopt a man?
Comment here. For the record, that's my son.
That was said in a very "I'm sorry,
Yeah.
my son" type of.
How big is Lincoln?
It can't be big.
Well, wait, which Lincoln is it? Like Lincoln, Nebraska?
Yeah, Nebraska,
Wait,
I believe.
Well, it's Lincoln City or
Lincoln City Council.
okay.
I believe
Yeah.
Nebraska.
But they do have a lot of people up here. In their little, what's it called? I guess that's probably how many
really
people that come into council, right? I don't know.
like board and treasurer and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I'm just wondering, like, shouldn't the other dudes like know their homie's family a little bit better?
Yeah.
Than that? Like, oh shit, here's Steve's son, this jokester.
Yeah. What is it this time, Steve? Steve Jr., whatever your fucking name
I'm
is.
sick and tired of these damn boneless wings.
Bro, but for real, dog. My man said them bitches ain't nothing but chicken tenders, and that fucked me up. Because I always think of a tender as a certain
They aren't actually
way.
tenders either. Though.
And then
Because
stop. We got. Let's not go that deep yet, Wazzy. Hold on.
tender is a chicken tender.
Yes.
It's the tenderloin.
Yeah, and so when they call it tender, it's because of the part of the chicken it's coming from, right? But I always think of a tender long, right? If you get chicken tenders, you want them long.
Yeah, not like a nugget.
Yeah,
a nugget's different.
And then boneless wings are nuggets, right? So that's the differential from them.
I would say boneless wings are half.
Yeah,
Like I'd call them half fingers, like half tenders.
I would say boneless wings are kind of a more three-dimensional nugget.
and that's why I
nuggets are
do
kinda flat,
agree with Saucy Nuggs. I agree with that name. Let's call them Saucy Nuggs.
I'm good with that.
Hey, B-dubs.
Or trash.
Or trash.
Let me get a medium saucy
I
nug.
haven't eaten a boneless wing in so long. Like I got on that traditional wing kick when we was at Market Strategies, and I just been on I thought it was just gonna be a wave, bro. Just the longest wave I've ever been on. When am I gonna hit the shore?
Just surf it.
Yeah, I'm just surfing, bro. But
You find that perfect wave, you can surf forever, bro.
But it's also because a lot of places don't even cook the fucking boneless wings right, bro. Why y'all got so much breading on these bitches, bro? Where the meat at?
It's been like a month since I ordered Wingstop.
Yeah, they ain't been doing it. The traditional or bones?
Traditional, and the chicken quality just went down. There's the.
It's another one that I started fucking with. That's not Wingstop. That might be Detroit Wing Co. or something like that.
Snob, which those wings look good, but taste was average.
I still fuck with
bad.
They Photoshop their pics.
No, I think they
the filters?
they look for. They look for the good wings, not they look for the wings that look good, not necessarily taste good or have good meat. Or
that's a shame. That's a shame that we're so superficial. You know, we're just about how the wing looks.
Yeah, how that bitch tastes, right?
Right.
It's about the inside that matters.
Exactly. It's the inside, not the outside. The internal, not the external.
So we're all in agreement that this man is correct, though, right?
Yeah. right. He may be a genius. Yeah. Because words matter. They have meaning.
Like, it's just so funny to have the balls to do this in front of a real city council. And I know there's not that many people there. You really only talking, but I don't know if I could go up there and tell y'all I want to start a petition to change the name of fucking chicken tenders. After somebody before me probably had like an actual, hey, we should put up some signs for disabled kids over here because the guys are zooming down the street and they hear my jackass come up here. I'm going to talk about a real problem. Something that's been killing our kids. We're running around these restaurants calling them boneless wings. So you got some balls on you. I don't even know what's his name because you're right. He looked like a bunch of people though. Like he looked like a carrot top head ass motherfucker. Like
so what about getting drumsticks in your thing of wings?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. A good call, bro.
That's a good point.
I like the mix, but do I order?
I'm a stick guy.
I'm a stick guy too, bro.
I'm more of a flat than anything. But
oh man,
more of a what?
Flat.
Flat
the
wings. That's what they call the flats.
Oh, okay. They're the flats.
Flats are drums. That's what they call it. They call ours the sticks drums. They call his flats. It's just less work to get on the drum.
Breaking bones.
Like you gotta
so
put
much more cartilage.
Yeah, like you gotta do a lot of tongue work in the flat.
Right, and like I'm not shy
no, you don't.
tongue work. Yes, you.
No,
do.
you don't.
Then you're not doing.
Yeah,
it.
So what are you talking about? There's two wings here. And there's meat in the middle of them wings. Right. How are you getting that meat out?
You take one bone, take it out.
That's why you still single, bro. You gotta come on, Jake, pound it, bro. You gotta get that tongue in there, boy.
You gotta preserve the integrity, and you just gotta work with what you're given.
Yeah, you gotta poke that motherfucker through, eat it up,
and then suck it out the other side. You gotta tongue punch it and then suck it out the other side. Simple.
Tongue punching is crazy. You better be out here tongue punching. Mike Tyson tongue punch. That's what I got, boy. But yeah, that's a good no consensus joint. I'm gonna put that poll up today.
Wings or flats?
Wings or flats because that's
drums or flats.
Drums or flats because that's a
I never
lifelong
heard the term flat before.
Yeah, that's a lifelong battle, bro. That's been here since the beginning of chicken, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're gonna take this to its logical conclusion, then if we're gonna then yeah, drumsticks and wings should be separated. Like if I order a dozen wings, there shouldn't be any drumsticks in there because I specifically said wing.
Yeah. I don't know how many
that'd make me happy because then I could just ask for a shit ton of drumsticks.
Yeah. Well, at Wingstop they'll do that. I think it's an extra $1.50 or something, but they'll give you just one type.
So how many come on each chicken though? Because like
how many what? Chickens?
Have you seen a chicken?
No. That's what I'm saying.
2 and 2.
When I think of a chicken, I think of like a rotisserie chicken. Those things are huge and the wings are huge. So now I guess I haven't never thought about this until now. Where are they getting these little ass wings and chicken drumsticks from that they give us at B-Dubs? Are they killing these chickens when they 12?
Nutrition.
Yeah.
They I can't wait for them to grow up, man.
That's what I'm saying. So you killing them?
Bred them so much.
Yeah, you killing them motherfuckers damn near super
like
early.
6 months.
So I guess that's what led me to ask you the question: how many? Is there 2 drums and 2 wings on every chicken, or is that sound
some
about
probably
right?
have less, but I think wolves are the cause of that.
Yeah.
Probably.
So now,
Fox.
if I'm ordering an 8,
Foxes.
if I'm going to beat Dubs and I'm saying I want an 8
when
piece,
I'm really hungry.
are you a 20 piece? Are you effectively eating 6 to 8 chickens?
Well, you're not eating 6 to 8 chickens,
No,
but you have caused the murder.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Not the whole chicken, but
because like there's the breast.
this shit is. These pieces have come from 6 to 8 different chickens.
Yep.
When I sit down and order my
but
shit,
all of the other meat's going somewhere. So
Yep.
at least you're actually sharing a meal with at least 7 other people.
Yeah.
When you order wings, you are eating with 7 people.
That's fire. I get that. I'm just trying to figure it out because damn, I never thought of that, and that means we are mass producing the fuck out of chickens, bro.
Oh, and it's crazy.
Remember?
Don't watch those videos.
The entire Super Size Me drama and everything behind that.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember Super Size Me, but I didn't. I feel like that wasn't about chicken though.
I think the majority of it.
I mean, it was
Super Size Me was so what was they talking about chickens in there? Because I just
whole
remember
industry in
maybe it was-
general, really.
Oh yeah, okay. Just
There was-
the processed food industry and
Yeah,
shit.
during that time, I know there was at least a couple videos that showed the chicken dough that creates the
Yep.
nuggets, and a lot of people did not like that. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff's all weird. Like, and it's kind of interesting. It's really interesting to
Use
think
your
about.
words.
Like, well,
use your words like a big boy clone.
well, I mean, like, we all want this food so much, and in order to get it to scale, you have to go ahead and do certain things.
Yeah.
And then I also find it interesting when we also want to talk about getting rid of, like, say, like the electoral college and all that jazz. And then when we look at population distribution and that, like, okay, well then a presidential election would essentially just be New York and LA, and whoever they choose, that's the president. When nobody in New York and LA is producing these chickens for all these nuggets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not.
So if I want to get elected, I'm gonna say fuck the farmers, and all the kickbacks that they get and all that jazz, in order to focus on the population that actually has the voting power and
Give them chicken.
yeah. Well, I mean,
And I heard
it'll be
that.
interesting.
I heard something like that earlier
If you
today.
got some Biden chicken, would that help?
no, man, I value what little memory I have.
Yeah, but you're right. You gotta, if you're trying to get elected somewhere, you just gotta basically pander to whatever that region likes. You know, you can't. So when you, and also hold on to close this off, so we can finish off this. My man's in the Lincoln City Council. We need more videos like this during these times, y'all. We need shit that's just funny,
Entertaining and learning. at
and
the exact same-
entertaining, and just to take your mind
a
and
real
our
thinker.
minds off of the other shit that's going on out here in this fucking world right now. There's a lot of shit still going on, so I even more so today appreciate videos like this than I have in the past. So
He was doing a public service.
so thank you, Boneless Chicken Man Steve. I hope we see you at more council meetings with even brighter ideas in the future. And I'm gonna make a.
Do you think that's?
I'm going to put my money on. We will see this man again. I think we'll be seeing him again.
Do you think that's
Oh,
the
if you
tip of
watch
his
the
iceberg?
video again, you will.
Do you think that's the tip of his iceberg, or you think he's got other great ideas, or was that like
I
just?
don't talk about other men's tips of their icebergs, so I don't know.
Wait, thinking about that metaphor. That's a weird one.
Well, it's a tip of the hat. It's designed as that.
I don't know if I would ever like go ahead and be, hey babe, you want to see my iceberg? You know,
Hey, let me-
you might think that you're talking about a head of lettuce.
No, Jake, come on, baby, just the tip of the iceberg. Come on, just a tip.
I've seen Titanic. I'm not trying to get pregnant.
The tip has sank in many a ship.
It always starts with a tip, and we know what comes after.
I always just the Titanic is just such a fucked up story, bro. Like, how y'all go? If that's just not one of the, that's like the story that'll be in the 3050 Bible, the story of the Titanic and how y'all claim that y'all had an unsinkable ship and God told y'all hold my beer. like how dare you motherfuckers, bro? On y'all first joint, was that the first? I feel like they might have did like a practice run or something before that, but I think that was the first joint with people and shit on it. And on y'all first bitch,
there were a lot of checks and stuff. Like it was rated like safe.
It wasn't even the rating though. Right. It would have been all right if y'all
weren't drunk at the wheel, literally.
If y'all was looking, y'all would have been good. Instead, you call one of the greatest catastrophes. What you mean?
Most of the ice that they hit was underwater.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So looking wouldn't do anything.
But you still got whatever. They have things on ships that...
If you're a captain of a ship...
radar at that point, though.
Well, I don't think it doesn't matter to me at all. You saw the tip of that iceberg. You are a seasoned captain.
Go far away.
You know to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah, you know, like I can't see much, but icebergs don't play that shit. Let's move. Yeah, you're right.
Like, I've never seen one in real life before, but I know enough about them.
Hell yeah. But I don't know how we even.
I never thought about going ahead and comparing it to like the Tower of Babel.
Yeah, it's like these are the type of stories
that's cute. Guess what?
Yeah, these are the type of stories that as time pass end up just becoming something else, bro. and
yeah, 2 VHS long movies. I have yet to see the full movie.
I've seen it a few times, but then
I put the first VHS in it. Twice. I got through that.
I've seen it full way.
Another one? I'm not doing it.
I've seen it 2 times full the way through, but not on VHS though. I'm not getting up to switch out CDs or TD. Nothing. Hey, remember when games used to do that? Yeah, I was gonna say, y'all remember when games?
Yeah, that was 4 CDs.
And when it was like disc over, I went to take a break. I would change them, but you not making me change that motherfucker right now. And that's back before you had memory cards, boy. So my shit was
there's memory cards.
No, I had memory cards. I'm talking about me specifically. So I've just had my game on for 3 weeks straight, hot as hell, boy. Because if I turn it off, it's a wrap. But everything I had saved is gone. See, Final Fantasy was a struggle for me to finish.
I can imagine. I did have another random topic.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
It occurred to me this week that when you look at geological records, time goes down, right? Mm-hmm. So is the Earth getting bigger?
I think so. Yeah, I think we're collecting space dust, and it's just compacting. That's how it works.
We're actually not.
We're not.
No,
I think we are
because of the mantle layer. Like, and I was thinking through it, and like tectonic shifts are when you have like a wedge. And
stay close to the mic, buddy.
I know I'm trying, but like a wedge, and you just the ground is pushing on itself,
right? And
it's just melting and pushing. But so we're actually not growing. I don't know. It was
I know random we're not growing, but yeah,
it's a random thing that I had thought of. If time continuously goes down, it's not like a tree where it grows up, though.
Right.
Okay, no topic there.
No, I've never even thought about this shit before, so I can't just jump in. I'm over here. Yeah, I'm processing what you saying. See, you said time doesn't go up; it goes down.
Well, we're looking at geologic records and stuff like so. If I dig down 20 feet and I find a bone, that means that it's more recent than if I dig down 50 feet and I find a bone.
I'll get you now.
That's older.
Yeah. Yep.
But
like
I don't think we're talking. I mean, like when we actually talk about the stone itself and like the soil, like I think we refer to that more as like this is like. This area is limestone and all that jazz, but when we talk about actually dating something, we're talking about like the object itself
It's
In
the
there,
layers.
aren't we?
No, so I actually, I this whole thought process popped
nerd.
up.
You nerd.
I'm not offended. The entire thought process came about because I was reading something about a theory as to why natural coal is so limited, dealing with why when plants first developed lignans, which are the wood things, there was nothing that could decompose it, which is why all of those giant oil lakes and stuff that we dig up are basically all that. Most of that is actually probably false, but that was where I had thought about the fact that we're going down in time, and the Earth was not. I mean,
Right, we were on like King Kai's little planet at one time, and it got bigger.
I don't know. It was an interesting thing that I had just never even thought about.
Shout out to the King Kai reference. I like that. That's very interesting to think about, because geology has never been something that's my thing. So I don't even think about this type of shit that y'all just was talking about. But it's fire.
It's a weird world, man. Like a really, really weird world. But like,
So wait, are you saying that the world is getting bigger? Or are you saying it's not getting bigger?
It's not.
It's not.
No.
Okay. But you said it was small at some point.
Well, I was. Joking,
okay. That's what fucked me up. Like, huh?
Like we're going through like you know like all this stardust and collecting it, and then we got blankets of it.
Yeah.
I mean, we are collecting a ton of space dust, but
is it staying the same size as it's doing this collapsing, or what's going on?
I'm guessing, but it's
relatively. I can't imagine that.
And also, it's the entire. We could be getting bigger, but it might be a nanometer a decade,
right? Like how we are getting hotter, and
well, that is a more that's a little different, because a overall, I think it's 6 degrees. If a overall temp change of 6 degrees everywhere happens, so 6 degrees up, it could end all life.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and not to mention like
maybe not end all life, but
with like the different systems that you have going on, and like the wind streams and then the water currents and stuff, and how they influence one another. Like if this gets to X certain temp, then it sets off this thing that sets off a chain reaction, and all that jazz is wild.
Like we're on a knife's edge of reality, essentially.
Yeah,
man. And that's the beauty of all of this shit, right? And when you think about a miracle, like basically all of this shit, like it probably was, if one thing didn't happen, then we wouldn't be sitting here right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not even talking about us specifically, just humans in general. Something happened. Or even
life in general.
Life in general. Everything had to go right in order for that shit to pop off.
I'd say intelligent life. Life does seem only because we developed it. So we developed it on Earth. I think 400,000 years is when it started. After the Earth actually like cooled down and got to a temperature where life could start. And if we take that as a bad example, life could start somewhere else 200,000 years from when the planet cools. So we just don't have any examples to look at.
Right. But I mean, there's also so many other factors, right? Like how long does it last? I mean, you said what was the date that you just said?
400,000 years
ago?
No.
After it cooled.
After the Earth got to a point where it could sustain.
Right. So I mean, from our current time till then, that's a shit.
Oh yeah.
And but it's also interesting because like, in a certain sort of sense, then like I feel like I have an obligation to go ahead and continue life on, to go ahead and reproduce in order to. I mean, because I inherited this tradition of life.
You could try panspermia. Just go up to the ISS and jerk off into space to see what happens.
Okay with that. But
good choice.
So I think it's an interesting thing, and like I think when you look at life in that sort of context, like I look at it as like a river, and like I'm just like this drop in this current moment and everything, but like there's this whole river of life behind me that's gotten up to this point, and where are we gonna go from here? I don't know. I think it's a beautiful thing.
It is, and it's scary.
I'm apparently the dam and the family salmon stream of my existence. So,
Well, I mean, but that's also an interesting thing too, right? Because like, philosophies die off. Like all sorts of things just like sort of meet a certain end. And that's normal as well. Like certain family names and species and all that jazz and that sort of thing. So
hell yeah. That shit happen all the time, bro.
Yeah.
There's probably shit out here that was going on before us that we just would never even know about. I'm sure of it. I don't know what that is, but whether it's
right, because otherwise it wouldn't be that.
Yeah. it's all type of shit people was probably doing.
are people making new last names anymore? Like,
I'm sure.
Who though?
I mean,
all sorts of interesting folks these days.
But
because that's a good question.
But people who would carry life on afterwards.
Those people.
Like, are we eventually just gonna have one last name? Because every time you have I'm going super traditional. If you have a family with two women and both of the daughters take the name, that name is essentially ended. So if that happens enough times, are we all just one last name in 500,000 years?
I think humans love their individuality so much that they'll
but
never
a first name
let
can
the
do that.
last name go. Nah, because there's like 5 Johns in the office, John, and they're not gonna like that, bro. And you're right. Maybe they'll start coming up with different first names and getting rid of last names. But
if you think about
that's also too
where
much.
most last names came from, it's like Smith. It was the profession or what defined whoever,
or your geography, where practically all names are either what you did or where you're from. Like Julia's last name was
Sigali.
Siladi, and
Sigali?
which means from Silad, which is a old Hungarian county. So it's a pretty common name, but these sorts of things develop in isolation. So I think there's a number of factors, like, and it mostly requires, I think, there to be like an equal diversity, like everyone interacting. Now, like if we get global enough, then certain Chinese names are going to fade away, and then certain American names are going to fade away, and all that jazz before we have like a single monoculture. But once we get at that level, I'm sure that we would go ahead and also discover like
ID
new
numbers.
ways to isolate. Like I mean, why didn't the folks in the British Isles? Why don't they all have one name? I mean, that's a small population, but some of them went ahead and came to the Americas. Some went here, some went there, and that sort of thing. And even as the population was growing, like you have to spread out now and go.
So it's a constant
else.
like repopulation of last names almost. Like if
like you start seeding.
Yeah, so if like last names are like a farm, it's throwing a new last name in there and seeing what happens with it.
Yeah, so I would imagine that for us talking globally, we would be at such a level that we would be exploring other planets and stuff like that. So, maybe this planet has like some Johns and Smiths. And
our middle name is now Earth. I am John Earth Wozniak.
Yeah,
so I don't run into John.
There was a time
Mars.
when we didn't have last name. You was John, son of John, Mike, son of Mike. Jake, son of
where
Dad.
The son names come from.
And so that's
Jackson.
And at some point, like y'all said, people was like, "Fuck that! I want to have a name." And I think last names now.
I don't think so. I think it was just that, like, when you have a small enough village, like, if there's only like 30 of you in a village, then like that's how you identify and stuff. But once you start getting bigger, like there's a shit ton of Petersons. Pete's got a lot of fucking kids, and there's a couple of different Petes. So now we need a first name to go ahead and it's just like with how like binary, right? You know, all right. Well, we only need
etymology of the last name. Where that?
No, because I think it's not that.
Well, that's where
I think it's that we developed having first names after already having last names, because a last name is a family thing, you know, and it's your membership into a clan, into a tribe.
Where's the answer?
Right, that's nothing. Oh, they want us to listen to somebody speak. No, thank you. But so and this actually just brought up my point here. Last names for honor. I think that whatever the reason we started having last names now is irrelevant, because there's a lot of people who take pride in their names, and it's going to be really hard because not only do I have a name, but now it's even easier for you to pinpoint my ancestry. I could tell you I was this and that, and yes, I got that last name from somebody, especially if it's something, you know, like a special name that you don't really hear often. But people have pride in their names. It's gonna be real hard for people to let go of that pride. Like, no, motherfucker, I'm a Jackson. Do you know about the Jacksons? Go to Southwest and ask about the Jacksons. And that's in you know, I don't know. I don't see people giving that up unless there's like just this huge change in mentality for that humans go through over some time, which is also, that could happen. I don't know. You know, I'll never know what's going to happen after we die. I
think it's an interesting sort of like your first name
Chinese began it.
So
5,000 years.
In Asian cultures, it's family name first and then personal name.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Son Goku.
That's in a lot of like because like that's the way it's in Hungary too.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, like Julia over there would be Silagi Julia. Well, Foster Julia now, but. Yeah, they do that too, which is funny because
I never knew that.
Half of even like her family over there, I'd say probably about 20% of them will go ahead and have first name, last name, whereas 80%.
And this should say basically what you were saying. Sorry, Jake, my bad.
Good.
This was saying in small civilizations, last names weren't necessary because you didn't have that many people, so we knew who the fuck you was.
Yeah, because I mean, you pretty much all the same, you know.
And then the more people you got, it's like, all right. John, son of John. I know 30 Johns now. Somebody get a damn name.
I could also see how those could become last names. Like if I'm like, hey, is Mike Jack's son over there? And it becomes Mike's Jack's son.
Right, because it was like Mike, comma, Jack's son, comma.
And if you're doing that verbally, it could easily.
Yeah, I see that going too. And shout outs to the motherfuckers who was like, I'm not calling you, I'm calling you Smith. I ain't gonna say Blacksmith. That's too much. John Smith, that's who you is. Come on, buddy.
Well, that's because you
John Smithy.
You were known for your smithing, you know, and just
you
like
lazy bitch, you better call me Blacksmith. What's wrong with you? Unless I'm white, they call me White Smith. That's what I want.
What was it here? I can't remember what exactly. So you know,
they got it all here.
Mick and O, like hula,
those are more clan related though, right? The O's.
Well, no, O's and Mix are either son or grandson.
Oh, son O. Like
yeah, like O'Neill is like
last name with personal characteristics. Black. Someone with black hair. Y'all tried it. Y'all tried it.
Shit, that didn't work out too well for long. Came across this whole continent.
Brown. Someone with brown hair. Really? That's funny though.
And then our mixed.
And look at this. Way? Jackson, son of Jack.
Well, Mick is like grandson. So like
because like in my heritage I've got like a McDonough, so that would be the grandson of Donough.
Last name showing Johnson, son of John. Jackson, son of Jack. So basically what y'all was saying.
Yep. Yeah, okay.
Man, we just be talking
O'Reilly,
to be smarter than y'all.
MacArthur.
That makes sense.
No,
we just be talking to be smarter than y'all, bro. God damn.
O and Mick, they aren't the same. They're not both son. One is son, and the other one is grandson. And then it's
That's
also
not what that says.
I know, but this is wrong. This is
But it's on the internet.
reference.
Right.
This shit is on the internet, bro.
And then Fitz is like the Germanic version. So like Fitzgerald is like son of Gerald.
Ah.
Yeah.
So the son is in many
Yeah,
languages.
it's a big thing, yeah.
I ain't met a Gerald in a long time. When's the last Gerald you met?
I worked with one like 10 years ago.
That's 10 years ago.
I mean, I'm still friends with him on Facebook. I saw a post from him today. Does that count?
Yeah, I guess so.
Trying to think of any Jerrys I knew.
I got an Uncle Jerry. But his name is not Gerald.
That's
it's definitely
not a
Jerry.
Gerald.
Because he's like one, I think he's one of triplets, and it's Jerry, Larry, and Terry.
They didn't go with Gary.
Well, I got an Uncle Gary as well, and then there's Donald and Ronald. They're twins.
Shout outs to your name having to be rector.
So how many of your
An administrative leader in the church, rector. Do you go to talk to your rector when you're feeling sad, chick? you go get guidance from the church rector?
No.
what is the average family size of your families?
8.
Are you like large? I know his family.
I
like,
know, but I feel.
Are you just
So there's 7 of my dad's kids. All the others have probably on average 3 of his siblings. But now, my grandfather was one of 13. I think it was 13 or 16. I can never remember.
so someone in your family chain is just sperm producers of.
I mean, it would seem that it's my dad's line there, because he's got a few. Clearly,
Has Julia realized that at all yet?
That's why she married me.
Okay, so she just wants like 74 kids,
Oh, ideally, yeah.
popping them out
No.
until.
She wants to have like 10 kids and then have us adopt 10 other kids. So yeah, it's gonna be a mess. I'm gonna have a GoFundMe for the rest of my life.
I
gonna
went
be
to
fun, bro.
school
It's gonna be real fun.
Oh yeah. Well, especially because like
Yo, house you at now can't support to your kids.
I mean,
no, I mean not to mention like
unless you running some type of internment camp over there that I don't know
worry
about.
it. But and we plan on essentially having the UN under our roof, man. Like just adopting all sorts of kids and shit like that.
you just want to be what's her name? Crazy chick who married
Angelina Jolie.
No, man.
Lips.
adopting from every country.
Y'all seen this shit? These fires out in
yeah.
fucking
Oh yeah, I was
Oregon
gonna bring that
and
up
shit in
because
San
I thought that was like what inspired you because like the geology.
No,
this is a real
saw the
picture.
ash all
Everybody
falling
watching
around.
on YouTube, this is a real picture of the fucking San Francisco Giant Stadium as of like an hour ago or so.
Yeah,
because
I
of
got
those
buddies all in
fires.
that area, and like it's nuts.
It's been like that since the morning. Like I saw pictures of people
And then
today.
this shit pop up. I hate the internet. What's going on here?
Like imagine waking up at 10:30
Yeah.
and it's orange outside and
Scary
that's
as fuck.
all you know.
Scary as fuck. Every
that shit killed
like
the dinosaurs.
the day day after tomorrow, like all the movies like that. That's how it starts.
Well, and they're
Wait,
saying
is this happening everywhere?
It's like snowing like it's ash.
Yeah.
Or it's ash. It's ashing like it's snow.
Yeah,
Pompeii.
yeah.
We all fall
Well,
down.
once Yellowstone goes out,
all I hear about is I think every once a month I'll wake up and be like Yellowstone. Like that shit scares me, bro. Learning that if that shit go off is basically a wrap.
Yeah,
and we
like
just
it's
sitting
done
here like, all right. Like we
Yellowstone
what
is-
precautions can we take? Are we taking? Can we take some precautions?
Do you fuck with the war?
Do you fuck with the war? Seriously though, there's just no precautions we can take with Yellowstone?
I don't
y'all?
think
We just
so.
gotta hold that L when it happened. Is it everything gonna be gone?
Are you not praying about this every night, bro?
Is it the whole everything, or is it just a good chunk of everything?
Earth won't end immediately.
Yeah.
It'll take a couple of years for everything to die out.
We're gonna be the ones
But we're not
losing
eating
first.
Yeah, and
Gonna just starve to death. Pompeii got it easy.
when you think
Cover
about,
me with magma.
I'm gonna pass on that one.
That's fucked up. How fast are we fucked once it explodes? Minutes, hours? Days.
Days at least here.
Okay. So who y'all fucking? What
do you mean?
I hope you're.
That's
fucking
your answer.
one.
That's the good. I'm trying to catch somebody slipping in here. Who you fucking?
You're asking one person who it doesn't matter at this moment, and the other.
Wazzy, it's somebody on your list that you gonna text like, "Hey, come on, I gotta have some courage now. This is my last chance. Pull up." I'm gonna meet you where you at. Actually,
Pull up it.
Yeah,
No need to worry about pulling out.
pull up and don't pull out. Imagine you pull up, don't pull out. She pregnant. Yellowstone, don't kill us. Now you gotta have a baby with a girl that you don't like. It.
All these scientists lied to us.
There's been a bunch of movies like that. I can't remember
Where people do rash shit because they think the world's about to end.
Like something's happening where somebody's either about to die or something's going to happen, and then that doesn't happen, and then they have to deal with all of the consequences. I can't remember any of the names, but I know I've
me
seen
neither.
that.
But it sounds familiar.
That's I had this class. It was I think it was just my 11th grade English class.
Cheers,
We were talking.
y'all. Go ahead.
I'm empty. I think we were reading like the Martian Chronicles and shit like that, and there was a short story.
I acted in that.
Cheers. But I think there was a short story about like somebody being like the last person alive, and we all had to go ahead and.
Oh, the guy in the bank.
No, that's
No.
Twilight Zone.
Martian Chronicles was.
A collection of short.
Well, yeah,
stories.
no. I'm trying to remember. Sorry, I was in it, and I played a dude named Andy at one point and got shot with a gun.
Oh
But-
man, that sucks.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
But yeah, like there was one story I believe where dude was like the last person alive and all that jazz. So we were given the question like, well, what would you do? And stuff, and everyone's talking about, oh, I would go ahead and do this crazy thing, I would do that crazy thing, I would drive like the world, fastest car, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't know, like just do what I was doing. Like I don't think I should be living my life in such a way that
You're not already living it to the most potential.
right?
Yeah.
Like I'm completely happy.
I feel that.
So why not just continue doing that?
Yeah.
So.
But you can't if it's 3 days left. You're not about to just sit in the house though, Jake. There's certain things that
hell
you're
yeah,
gonna
I
be
would.
like, let me go see this one last time. I'm not gonna be in my fucking house if I know I only got 3 days left to live, bro. And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be here. We gonna go places somewhere. I don't know where, but I would have to think about it.
I think
We're not
Purge
gonna be here.
would
And we
basically
might just
happen.
be outside. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would just be at my
What the
house.
fuck you purging for if the world about to be gone? What you taking, bro?
But that's the thing. Everyone wants to go ahead and see that thing.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to go ahead and get that last burger. Everyone wants to drive that car.
Yeah, I would have to get a gun from somewhere for sure because it's gonna be some dudes that'll test you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll be testing. I think it'll be dudes just rolling up and laying waste to anything they can.
Mm-hmm. Right, because I mean, like literally nothing
And
matters.
it'll all
at that
be
point for them.
sex driven too. That's why I'm like, yeah, you're gonna catch these bullets.
And cannibal driven.
Yeah, wow. We got
Don't know
more
about that
cannibals
one.
in here than I thought that I knew. Well, I'll be cannibals out here.
Well, I mean, like especially
Like this video if you're a cannibal.
or not. You don't have to. We need to get all the likes.
Okay, like this video if you're a cannibal. Also like this video if you despise cannibals.
Or if you feel like whatever about them.
Just in the middle about cannibalism.
If you're okay with humans being meat but not eating it,
Yeah. Like, it's not for me, but I don't mind it.
As
if you
my
do it.
man's just said, they want our kids to eat the meat without the bones. That's where the meat comes from. The bones. Shout out to Steve Lincoln City Council boy.
Yeah.
Oh shit,
Man.
y'all, that's funny as hell. You was about to say something about Yellowstone. You was because we said it. You was like, and then we kept
can't
going down the
remember.
road. That
meat tangent, no way.
No, I think I was gonna make something up about how we got this whole corking process. in place.
Well, I mean, Yellowstone is I don't think I said this. I might have, but it's essentially like a turkey pop. It's like you buy a turkey and it's got that little button that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't.
I've never seen those other than in movies.
Okay.
Are those real? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, it's a little white and red stopper that they shove in raw chicken, so that when it gets to a certain temperature, a little, I think, spring basically breaks and it pops up.
Okay.
But
Thought that was just a movie thing.
No, they are real things. They just aren't reliable because, like, if you glaze your turkey, you're going to glaze over that button, and then it's stuck.
More resistance, yep.
Or
More
just
cushion
sticky.
for pushing, yep.
You better be glazing your turkey.
But yeah, it's Yellowstone could go at any moment. And
We should have like a Yellowstone day. Just celebrate once a year that Yellowstone still hasn't popped on our ass.
to be fair,
That's
it
hilarious.
would be the end of a 2020 thing.
Yeah. Oh my God. December 31st.
You just had to put that out there. You just had to put that out there.
Why you put that?
Merry Christmas, and also
Hey, Christmas will
Yellowstone.
already have happened. Happy New Year in hell.
not for the old calendarists.
Oh fuck 2020, bro. And you're right. It would pop on like the 28th, so that our last day on Earth would be the 31st of 2020, and then we just out of here.
Yeah, we never made it past 2020.
Yeah.
Like, game over, man. Game over.
GG, bro.
I remember what I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
So one of these fires, and I think it's the fire that everyone's been talking about, was apparently started by Mom, what do you want?
Answer it. Let's talk to Mom. What she want?
Hey Mom, what's up? Not too bad. I'm just on the podcast right now.
Put her on speaker.
They want you on speaker. I'm on the podcast right now. Is this an emergency? Oh no, Julia is though.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, Mike says hi.
Hi.
Wazzy says hi.
Ask her what she thinks about Yellowstone.
What do you think about Yellowstone? Oh, real quick, Mom, I got a question for you. What do you think of Yellowstone? Have you ever been there?
Yellowstone?
Yeah.
The park?
Yeah.
I've never been, but
Okay.
I've always been intrigued by it.
You think it's
Every
gonna kill
time
us?
you go- Do I think what?
Do you think it's gonna kill us?
No. Hell no.
Okay.
She said, "Hell no." I like that.
Okay.
I like that confidence. Thank you, Mama, because I was scared over
Yeah,
here.
we're getting really scared.
You guys hiked the trails up in the Upper Peninsula, Michigan.
No, Mom, you don't understand. You don't understand. If it blows up, we're all dead. Like the dinosaurs. Do you remember the dinosaurs? Neither do I.
You're crazy.
All right, yeah, but Julia's home, so I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
All right, love you, Ma.
Okay. All right, love you. Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye bye. So we got a firm hell no from Jake's mama.
She also totally misunderstood the situation. Oh, you guys have been hiking up north?
We ain't talking about no hiking, Mama.
Your mom's gonna wake up in a cold sweat tomorrow, being like, "I just realized what you meant by Yellowstone, and I did research, and now I'm scared."
But yeah. So one of these fires was apparently set off.
Thank you. That's
By-
what I want to get.
yeah.
I was like, how do we even start talking about this? Go ahead.
By someone was having a gender reveal party and had some pyrotechnics.
Hold on. Is that? Oh, yes, I did see that.
Now, so somebody I know posted an article about that, and the way that they framed it, so like they're super liberal. They feel that you're basically abusing your child by giving them a gender and that sort of thing. And so the way they framed it when they shared the article was
Is this person also the kind of person who would do a sex change on a 7-year-old?
probably
Okay.
They went ahead and posted this article and said that we need to stop having baby sex parties.
Huh?
Like, homeboy, for one, you don't even believe that sex and gender are the same thing, and it's a gender reveal party. So, and you really shouldn't go ahead and think of it in
Baby
those
sex
terms.
party sounds completely different.
That's what I did. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Baby sex parties?
Yeah, that's the way he was framing a gender reveal party, which in his mind, he doesn't even believe that gender and sex are the same thing or even related. So for him to make that connection, I think says a bit. But somebody had commented in there about
Baby sex party. It's like a terrible band name.
Yeah,
or amazing.
There's the ninja sex party is a thing.
Wow.
So now are we switching it to is this the kids bop version? Baby sex party?
Ninja sex parties, kids. Trying to do
baby sex party. Cool.
Wow.
yeah,
Disgusting.
yeah. It really shows like where like some people's minds are, I think. But one of his trans friends commented saying how they think that a child at birth should not be given a gender until they're old enough to go ahead and decide for themselves, and that logic should also apply to their name, that they should be given a number until they're old enough to choose their own gender and their own name. Somebody replied saying that it feels like you're trolling, and like that's really disrespectful. How are you going to go ahead and equate gender and name like that? And they're like, no, I sincerely believe this. So then I went to their page, and they're just hardcore left, where they actually think, yeah, you should go, Mike. It's a travesty that you call your son Michael Jackson. You should go ahead and call him 7 until he's like 5 years old.
But
and then
Jake,
he can choose
now
if he's an attack helicopter.
But now you're even letting me choose the number. I shouldn't even be able to choose the number, right? Well, why do I get to choose 7?
Just
who am I to say he's
You aren't
7?
choosing. That is a hospital number. Your child is 7.
Yeah, but I said, like, who
The government gives you the number.
Who are we even? Why do anybody get to choose his number?
What was
fuck are you
Hitman?
talking about?
Yeah, Hitler gives him the
No, wait. I said Hitman.
He said Hitman. You said Hitler. I don't know where we're going now, but let's go.
But I mean, like, that's a thing. Like, that's a characteristic of, like,
If I
hardcore
shouldn't get to choose his
communism.
name, I shouldn't get to choose his number neither. And if I can't choose his number, that shouldn't even be my son. Fuck out. What I'm gonna do? I'm supposed to choose what food to eat too. And I know that's an extreme jump too, but you have to choose something for your kids. God damn it,
That's
they
a
can't
funny
choose
thing
for
that you should
themselves.
say that, because communism specifically is aimed at destroying the family unit.
Yeah.
Like, you read Karl Marx's works and stuff like that. Like, the goal is to go ahead and create a classless state where there's no classes, there's no families whatsoever. You are part of the state.
And that's what I was about to say. Do they want the state to be considered the family, or in not just
Right.
your immediate
Which
family?
is why they also like are like textbook atheistic as well, because there can be no mother and father, there can be no God. God is the state.
Yeah.
Mom is the state.
Yep.
And that sort of thing. So yeah, going ahead and assigning numbers is like right up that alley.
How about we just assign genders once we understand how all of that works? So nobody will have a gender, and then everybody's.
I just, when I was growing up,
Things are
I
so
never
simple.
thought that these conversations would be something that I had to debate over and so now,
At like a presidential level.
yeah, and so now, and I'm not mad at it. I think we all can agree. Question everything, bro. We can have the conversations about shit, but god damn, bro, it's some stuff that I don't want to argue about.
The problem is people.
And then I don't want you to force it on me either, but I can't also say that, because now there's certain things that I want change in, and that I feel like might have to be forced onto other people in order for that change to happen. So can I you know what I'm saying? So what should be forced on the people and what shouldn't be forced on the people? I'm not the person to decide it.
When is it non-consensual and acceptable?
Yeah, and so exactly. No means no, Jake. That's what it's like.
Well, it's just the implication, okay?
The implication. Shout outs to always cloudy.
But I mean,
what was you about to say, Wazzy?
I can't. What were you saying? It was based off of what you were just saying. But my mind.
I was just saying that. Damn, I forgot what I was just saying. I was just saying
It was a good rant. I love the rant, but
I was just basically I was saying
Question everything.
Question everything. That's what it was, and the issue just becomes, when do you force things on other people?
part of the issue, like, and I agree, talking about all that shit's good. The problem is when people start getting violent over. There is no proof of what gender is. It's a construct. It's something that we as humans have created.
I feel that, like, as far as if you're saying what is gender, first of all, is because I always get them, what's male and female? That's sex.
Yeah,
male female sex, right?
Well,
I get them backwards all the time, but
I think that's it, right?
I mean,
all right, so let's hit the Googles.
Interesting is those guys tend to be creeps.
Who?
When you look in, because I mean,
like
the idea that gender is not real and that's a social construct.
Hold on. Let me just play this real quick.
So I guess I'll rephrase it. Gender as an idea is an amorphic thing.
I mean, in the last 80 years, yeah.
Well, it's a word. It is kind of where
we never
from.
divorced it from biological sex until about 80 years ago. And when you look at those guys who were developing gender theory, you got a lot of pedophiles, like James Money and shit like that.
Okay, yeah. So two main categories, male and female.
I guess my point is,
I just don't you go ahead. My bad.
Attaching labels to what you're into should not cause people to kill each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think what it boils down to, honestly, is there an objective reality or not? Can I go ahead and look at something and know something about it or no? Because what we're saying when we say that gender and sex are not at all related, we're saying that when I see a penis, I don't know anything about that. That doesn't mean that that's a man or anything, because that could be a woman.
I think those are... So
we're saying that there is no objective reality and that there is only subjective reality. Now, I agree that subjective reality is real, but but objective reality is real as well. And that what we need to do is find a harmony between the two, where the internal and the external are in harmony, and everything, you know.
If people could understand that other people see things through their own experiences through life, I think that would fix most of it. But almost everybody, and I'm saying it very loosely, but everybody believes that all of reality is based off of their own personal reality.
Right, which is problematic.
Right.
You know, and that's why you end up coming up with like 27 different genders, because we can't have a binary system. Which the funny thing about that with me is that, like, you can have a binary system and there's male at this end of the spectrum and female at this end of the spectrum. And guess what you have? A spectrum. Mm-hmm. So when everyone falls somewhere along there, some men are more on the feminine side. Yeah. I mean, but like there's still a man.
But that isn't a binary system at that point.
But it is.
It isn't.
It's How is it not? It's a binary spectrum.
A binary is a 1 or a 0.
So either you
a binary is there is no spectrum.
So what you're saying is we just want a spectrum in there, and there's one in and one in.
Just like all of the spectrums I'm on.
But the spectrum should have like a end to both sides.
Yeah, there's two poles.
Yeah, there's two poles to the spectrum.
Right, but okay. I don't disagree,
because a binary.
But the system that they're creating is you have just all of these isolated.
They're picking points on a line from -1 to 1, essentially.
But
right, which I think is zooming in too much.
Yeah, right. And you know what this stems from?
Are you 0? Are you under 0? Or are you?
It stems from a very simple mind state, and that is respect. I want you to respect me and who I am, and so now you start to associate your respect, whether I respect you or not, with whether or not you're gonna use my pronoun that I told you to use for me or not. So for a long time, you know, gays and homosexuals just were feel like they was disrespected. You got beat up, you got called, like people use the F word all the time, rhymes with maggot all the time, and just to disrespect you. That wasn't a good thing to be called.
Right.
Gay, maggot, blah blah blah. Those aren't good things to be called. And they try to, and it make you seem like you're less masculine if you are a man and you're gay. So now it's like, all right, y'all motherfuckers gonna start respecting us, and the first step that we gonna do to make y'all respect us is to basically what's the word I'm looking for? Fuck, it's right on the tip of my tongue.
Any words that
not initiate.
Like started to do?
Nah, fuck. Y'all going to just make sure y'all understand that when you see me, I'm not this, I'm that. And you're gonna know the name for it, you're gonna do this. And I just think jumping to, like you said, it's 27 of these different motherfuckers out here that y'all want us to call you. Instead of just being like, your first step should be accept everybody. That should be the first step.
Right.
It shouldn't jump to all the way to the
I find it weird,
more advanced do this and do that shit. And maybe that's how it's got to start. Maybe you got to start off and telling us that and then work us up there. But in reality, the issue is we don't respect everybody, and we do, but most I don't know how many people don't, but I know there's enough.
I think vocal humans hate other humans.
Yeah, there's enough people out here to where gays could not get married until like 2 years ago.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but again, that goes back to the objective reality.
Yeah.
What is the objective reality of sex?
Yeah.
Reproduction. Your subjective experience of it is a pleasurable one, but the objective reality is that is how life forms reproduce. So in a straight relationship, you have a marriage of both the objective external components of sex as well as the internal subjective ones as well, and they're in harmony with one another. And that is the root of marriage. I mean, when you look at the word, it is talking about building a home and building a family. So how can like in Hungarian, it's literally házasság. Ház is the word for house. You're building a house. So if you can't reproduce with your partner, how are you starting a family? A marriage is about reproducing and having children. So how could a gay get married?
Should two people who can conceive but choose not to, should they? I mean, they outside of good ideas,
it's still in harmony though. There's not a disharmony there. The capability is still there,
but they don't want to.
I mean, how often I don't know of like anyone who's getting married who isn't wanting to have kids.
I do.
I know a couple.
I know a few couples like that. That's also again, like a newer thing.
Us, but that's like the chicken nuggets.
Yeah, right.
That's going ahead and calling it one thing but doing something else. Like that's not a wing. That's a nug.
So I guess the thing
and also like there's also already civil unions prior to that gave those rights, because there are legal benefits to being married, and there were those things, but it became, I don't want that, I want that word marriage, and I want to change the definition of what that is.
Well, I have to look back and see what the civil unions were as opposed to a marriage license.
So I don't think those were federal though, which is problematic.
A civil union is the married by common law stuff.
Yeah, and that's it's just
varied state by state, and stuff like that. But that's a different thing. If we want to talk about that, then we could talk about that. But that wasn't the goal.
I think that as time, and I don't know. Maybe you disagree with that thinking, Jake. Maybe it's time shouldn't affect morals and ethics. Maybe it's just certain shit that's gonna be etched in stone for you specifically, that it don't matter how much time passed, this is how shit should be. And there's shit like that for me too. Don't matter how much time passes, murder is
homosexuality
never gonna be cool.
has been like widely accepted in the past.
All right, well,
you look at the ancient Greeks, the ancient Romans and stuff like that. It was acceptable. And then something
that's
happened.
a whole nother conversation then, because you right.
Those
then what happened
societies
to that
fell.
shit? Yeah,
Those
In
societies
Rome, I mean, Sodom and Gomorrah was an entire book about that, essentially, wasn't it? That
Well, I mean, not in Rome, but yeah.
I just want to touch real quick on the statement that you said where you were saying that how you can't build a house, right? Hold on. Excuse me. Woo!
there was substance there.
That Cali red.
You want a napkin?
Nope, I'm all right, buddy. What'd you say, Jake? You said you can't build a house with
Well, you can't reproduce.
Yeah, okay. But you had
So there's a
what was the
biological
comparison-
reality.
What was the comparison that you did with the house, though?
In Hungarian, it's literally házasság. In English, we have the word matrimony, which is mother making, and patrimony, which is father making,
Okay.
and stuff like that. So it's literally making a father, making a mother. Julia was never referred to as a woman by her grandmother until after she got married, and she said, "I'm so proud of the woman that you've become." And Julia was 26, but she was not a woman because she was unmarried. Because those words have a specific meaning, and they've had meanings.
But you understand that that's a subjective way of thinking, though, right? Like I'm not.
biological
I'm not going to
reproduction
tell you.
isn't very subjective.
No, but thinking that somebody's not a woman until they get married is a subjective way of thinking.
well, sure, but it's like going ahead and saying, so gender being a social construct is a social construct in the same way that time is a social construct. 12 o'clock noon doesn't mean anything, but it's us trying to talk about something that's very abstract and out there. Time is a reality. It does move forward. I can't see it. I can't touch it or anything.
Yeah.
And gender is a reality. I can't touch it or see it.
Yeah.
But we all know what we're talking about. It's just very fucking abstract.
I'd be good with the word marriage being that, or there being a new holy marriage word, if that makes sense. So there was a non,
like matrimony is one thing,
right? And civil union doesn't sound good, but that
I
would
wouldn't
be,
though. Just because I would, but I wouldn't because I know how people are and I know how humans are. You would say that I'm married, and then the majority of people out here who are straight and just live a normal life, as soon as you say I'm whatever the other word is, you're gonna look down on that one. You're gonna be like, oh. No, they're not married. They're that. Whatever that is,
but that's
whatever
a
the
choice
word
you're making.
is.
I think most people who
What's the choice you're making?
to go ahead and look at them differently for that reason.
I mean, but it's a. It is a choice, but it's not a choice that I want people to fucking have. I guess.
I mean, because should we go ahead and talk about like any of those distinguishing factors? Should we go ahead and talk about males and females at all? Because if I go ahead and hear female firefighter, oh well, now I'm thinking something else.
Okay, so
you know what I mean. So should we just?
And I don't mean it like
should
that.
we not refer to race?
No.
at all?
I don't mean it like that, Jake. I don't mean it like that at all. So let me rephrase it. I guess it's going to. If you're going to name something two different things because you two are together and y'all are some homosexual men, your type of marriage is named this, and because me and Shaw are together, our marriage is called this.
yeah, but
Are the same? Is it going to be the same exact?
You would be
benefits
married,
for being married
you would
From the state, sure, yeah.
exactly.
So
So,
at
what's
a
the
state
point
level-
of changing the name?
Because-
And besides the fact that
it solves a couple things. So everybody would be a union. We'll say non-church marriages,
Right, from the state's perspective,
you
it's
are
a union,
union,
whether heterosexual or homosexual.
right? So by getting married, you have the choice of becoming a union or not even being a union if you want it to be in a polygamous marriage, but you wouldn't be a union together. But most people who get married would also be a union unless they ask not to be. So you automatically fall into that, and it saves all of the angry religious people who say a marriage is only a man and a woman if they want to have a child. It's a union between two people, but you have to believe in. Is marriage also used in Judaism?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it'd be Judaism and Catholicism and stuff, and different religions could have different names.
I don't know. I've already seen the separate but equal approach, y'all, and I'm not a fan of it, and I'm not rolling with it.
That's the funny thing, though, 'cause, like, everyone wants it as long as it works for them, you know.
But
like,
wants what?
So,
what you mean?
I mean,
I have to get married, right?
No, you don't have to get shit.
So if I'm with somebody right now, I'd have to get married.
no.
But I'm rolling with you. Go ahead. If you with somebody that you love,
if she wants to be,
and she wants to be married, eventually y'all will get married. Probably yes.
Marriage is a mostly non-religious idea as far as the state goes. So I don't know.
Right, because I mean, in our nation, you know, we have that separation of church and state and stuff. So, like, for one, I think you could.
We're supposed
definitely.
to in 99% of most cases outside of
This
flags and
so I guess I just don't understand if we say we have this separation of state and church, and I've always heard
most
this
things in this,
but what was the reason for gay marriage to be banned for so long?
What does separation of church and state mean?
Yeah,
it does not mean the influence of the church on the state. It specifically refers to the influence of the state on the church, and the state going ahead and telling the church what they can and cannot do. And it was first because of the Baptists here in the U.S.
Is this and maybe I'm retarded for asking this. I'm scared. Is this?
We already know you are.
Yeah,
so
is this like in the Constitution? No. Okay.
No. But after in the early years of the country, a lot of specifically the Baptists, because they're hardcore like libertarians theologically. They wanted to ensure that there wasn't going to be any other denominations taking over the country, the Presbyterians or what have you, and influencing Baptist beliefs through the federal government. So our government came up with this whole idea of the separation of church and state, so that the state cannot go ahead and tell the church what to do. So therefore, for religious people to go ahead and vote and say that marriage is between a man and a woman is not a
violation of church.
A violation of church and state.
I get you.
But the state going ahead and trying to tell your church to tell your pastor that he has to marry two men would be a violation of it.
Okay, so I didn't finish my point or finish my whatever I was getting to earlier. So I just want to get it out so I just don't forget it no more. I think that shit changes over time. Definitions can change. Views of shit can change. And I think that they should change. Not everything. Like I said, there's certain things that's just, no, motherfucker. You shouldn't be raping people, murdering people. That's trash.
I mean, there are people who should be murdered.
Yeah.
So I can't.
We'll get into that another time. But as far as like, because there's a lot of people who feel like you, Jake, and that's why this is even a conversation that you can have. There that and I don't know, that's how you feel.
Tend to be really dumb.
Yeah, that's how. So when you say stuff like marriage, you know, is a man and a woman, and they can create a family together, right? I think that idea of that narrow-mindedness, and I don't want to use the word narrow-mindedness because you're not narrow-minded.
No, I know what you're saying.
But that tunnel vision of that idea can be expanded, and that's kind of the way I think. Because if we're using a house analogy, if the house analogy would be you two got together and y'all built a house together, right? Y'all went out, chopped the wood, and put that motherfucker together yourselves. The only way that y'all could do. But I just feel like I could, even if I can't produce the kids, John, I can get the kids. Like you saying, you want to adopt. There's plenty of kids out here who need a family, who need me, who want me to help create a family with them. So I didn't chop the wood down, but I bought the wood from somewhere else, and I still built this fucking house. So why is my house less important than your house just because you're less impressive or less important or whatever you want to use just because you actually chopped your wood down. Like, I had to go through a whole lot of shit to even find the right wood to put together, and I still built the motherfucker myself. So I might not have the axe to chop the fucking tree down, but I had I had everything else to put the house together. And that's probably, I know that's not what you're saying. Like,
100%.
I know you're not. I know you're not saying my house is less. I know y'all not saying it's less than, but that's how a lot of people feel. Like, I made my child. You can never make the child. Your shit is less than mine. That's a lot of people feel. I think that's
colonist thinking, though.
And I just think that idea of being able to, that idea of marriage is this because I'm a man, I'm a woman, I can have sex with her, she can have a baby, and that's why this is a marriage. I think that we have to. I think that it's got to be a wider.
The biggest issue with that has always
we've had those,
been the word. The biggest issue has always been the word marriage.
I know.
In 99% of it. So
I just don't understand why. I just don't see. I guess I just really don't see what the issue is of still calling a man and a man or a woman and a woman's union a marriage. I don't understand what the big issue is.
Because it's referring specifically to a religious ceremony.
Okay, so and that's what you're talking about.
Right.
Okay,
I think a lot of people also.
Julia and I could have a civil union in the state's eyes, but because we went through the church, it's a civil union plus marriage.
And that is what I'd want. Like, I'd be 100% behind that. It makes
right. So two atheists could go ahead and have a civil union, and it'd be a heterosexual sort of thing, and they could have children.
So because if we start naming it, so would it be two names, or would it be a name for every type of religion you would have?
It would always be a union, but the word marriage would probably
in a union. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Like, if you're Greek, you could use the Greek word.
Right now, that is happening with the word partner. I see partner way more often than fiance, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband.
Yeah, and partner, as of late, as of I've known, it has always been just because it's a homosexual relationship. They just call each other partners.
That is still the context in the back of my mind. Yes, it's
but it's growing outside of that,
right?
Mm-hmm. But like,
but don't you? All these names is going to get irritated, y'all. Y'all don't understand that? Like, I don't want to have to call everybody shit. Like you said, it's going to be a union. But now, what are you still going to call your shit a marriage? Are they still going to call it a marriage in 20 years? And how many different names we going to break off and have if we start going down this slope of... That's what I'm saying. Like, it's all right, yeah, we're in a union. But you're not going to call your shit a fucking union, Jake. You're still going to call your shit a marriage. Because that's what it is. That's what you feel it is. I'm married to Julia. I'm married to Shalonda. And then after that, it's gonna be motherfuckers, I'm in a union.
But
you're married to your work.
There's literally no reason for two atheists to call their relationship a marriage then. You know, like, they could just be like, no, this is a union. And that sort of thing. And it could be a heterosexual sort of thing. So, and honestly, nowadays in the U.S., I would see most relationships as being unions and less as marriages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I agree with that. And I guess I'm talking more so on the business side of what's going to happen if we start using different names, because either you're going to have to have your
We're not, though.
No. I'm talking. I'm moving past that now. Mm-hmm. I figured out what you was talking about now, but now I want to talk about now. If it's a marriage and this is a union, are you going to copy and paste the rights that marriages have under union? I don't know if that's how bills and shit work.
From a state point of view, or you're a union.
Okay, okay. Federal. Fuck the state. We need this shit. We need federal change.
We're talking about the state as in the country.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, big S.
Yeah, big S. Okay.
Like on the Notebook.
Because that shit gets really spicy in there once y'all start trying to create new laws and shit. Because I'm gonna say if it's a new law or whatever it's gonna be, it got to be a law, right? Now we're creating unions for everything that's not a marriage.
I would say
everything is a union. Everything that would be a marriage. The state
does not recognize marriage.
Yeah.
Okay,
marriage is a purely religious word.
You go to your priest for that
in this context.
But y'all realize that marriage right now is a thing. So now y'all trying to wipe that out and turn it to union?
Well,
Everybody who was married can still call themselves married.
Yeah.
I guess y'all don't understand how difficult it is. You don't just wake up one day and say marriage is not a thing. It's going to have to be voted on. And there's going to be a lot of people that's not going to say that this is that we should get rid of this. And I don't know if it'll ever happen. I guess that's my thing. You can't just.
It may not.
Our idea sounds like it makes sense, right? But I don't know if that'll ever be feasible, because there are people who be like, fuck that. No, I'm married, and I don't want to be called a union. And I think there are a lot of people out there that will feel that way.
But I mean, even from the religious perspective, like
because they'll feel like they're being demoted almost to a lot of people.
That would be,
I don't know if I agree.
So incredibly stupid, because like, even
I'm not saying I agree with it. I think a lot of people would.
But from a religious person's perspective, you don't look to the government as your church.
You shouldn't. Yeah, you're right.
I don't really think of anyone who does, you know. So for the government to go ahead and be saying that,
I guess if you ask them, do you think the government's your church? They would say no. But a lot of their actions wouldn't align with that. A lot of their actions move upon whether or not they agree with.
I think it's the other way around, though. I think we get I think it's easy to confuse it. So like, is it going up or is it coming down? But I don't think that we look to the government for religious doctrines to come down. It's that we're trying to push them up and that sort of thing.
I mean,
there's
I'm not,
no reason for the state to go ahead and have really any influence on my relationship.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. I'm just I'm trying to think about. I'm just thinking. So keep going.
But do we want to get to music? Because we
will. This is what happens when we miss a week, y'all. We get them 2-hour boys in.
Very long here.
Shit, what was it? But
this is
looking at, so like, for one, Americans are incredibly stupid.
Facts.
Have ridiculously, I caught myself there, ridiculously short memories.
What?
And think that the world revolves around them.
It does.
When we talk about race relations, we think everywhere in the world has had the same race relations as us. So much so that we go ahead and we tell other countries what they can and cannot do because that's racism. And then you talk to the black or white communities there, and they're like, well, no, actually, like this is fine. This is what we've been doing for, like, this is perfectly fine. South Africa is a different story. But like, I can't remember, there was this, like, a good example exists in like New Zealand. I just can't remember the details. But then when we also talk about homosexuality and all that jazz, we're honestly simply looking at it from a like 1940s, 1950s American perspective. And we think that that was the way it was throughout all of history, throughout all of the world, when homosexuals have had, in conservative traditions in countries, have had exalted positions and been well respected.
Well, again, it was a big part of the old Roman Empire.
And I guess the issue is reminding people that, right? I don't think any gay people
didn't have marriage in a lot of those cultures or anything like that. They didn't have relationships and stuff. Like, hell, you can look at monasticism and celibacy within like various different cultures and stuff, and they became, great spiritual guys. A lot of times, a lot of cultures look to them as spiritual guys, but that was because they were being celibate and they weren't going ahead and busying themselves with relationships. They could busy themselves with that religious devotion.
Yeah, but you don't have to fight for to be married in times like that, when back then, if me and Wise is in a relationship and Wise gets real sick, they don't let me in the fucking room because we're not in a relationship legally. I can't be on none of the paperwork that he's doing if something's to happen to him, because we're not legally together. And the people in this state or whatever, the federal, the country, legally they say we not together, so legally I have no rights to say whether or not he should be on life support, whether I can be there to be by his side after 8 o'clock when fucking visiting hours is over.
Again,
and,
this is the modern American,
and that's I guess that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're right, Jake, and I don't think anybody that's in the LGBT community is I ain't gonna say that. I think the more so the fight is, yeah, we used to be like that, and then around that 1950s, like he was talking about, when these motherfuckers is in the home beating their wives, we lost our rights, and then y'all changed the rules. So all we want to do is have equal footing. And so I guess my question is, where was you going with the fact that what does that mean to you as far as like the Roman and
well, no, I just think that we flatten it to, like, for one, like a religious Christian perspective of marriage is damaging and violence against homosexuals, when homosexuals have, even within the church, been exalted and highly respected, without going ahead and compromising like traditional Christian positions on things. So we look at this Protestant America after World War II and after World War I, and we think that that's the way that Christianity is. We think that,
so it did change
we
after
think
that time in Christianity.
We think that Christianity worships, we think that Christianity is anti-black. Hell, look at what's his name, Sean, what's that guy, dude, Sean King, and some of his comments about to be Christian is to be anti-black. But what was one of the first Christian nations? Ethiopia. It's like tied with Armenia. We know that Jesus wasn't white, and that sort of thing. But we look at our own perspective and we say that, well, the powers that be are, these white Christians, and that's the problem. But we don't go ahead and understand that there's a greater context to it all. And I mean, I know I've said it on other episodes and stuff like that. We don't go ahead and look at it through the lens of the trauma of World War I, of World War II, because things pre-war and post-war were very different. In the U.S. and that's on a global scale. That's why we have so much drama in the Middle East and stuff like that. It's fallout from those wars. That's why we have a lot of the issues that we're having in Europe and stuff. And in the U.S., like we started a little bit earlier, even with the trauma of the Civil War. I mean, you're killing your own brother, and you're 16 years old, and you're coming home with trauma. Like that article I had sent, and that trauma gets passed down, and it fucks us all up for a while. So then you got these, angry guys in their houses with untreated PTSD going ahead and beating their wives and stuff like that. But is it the fault of the heteronormative Christian country, or is it trauma?
I'd say a lot of that started before the World Wars, just because we came from Quaker and Puritan sources, so I mean, a lot worse. I mean,
definitely. But when we look at like Quakers and stuff like that, I mean, you're talking about pacifists. Then how do we end up with revolutionary wars? How do we?
They're all people who would, in a very small sided context, would use the word marriage as the.
And also, we're talking specifically about Protestants as well, which that goes ahead and throws a whole nother wrench into the whole wheel. The United States is literally the only Protestant country in the world, And then we talk about some of these issues we have, and they're honestly really unique to Protestantism. It's kind of hilarious to me.
Well, I'm gonna tell you before I ask this question.
This has been an exhausting conversation.
I know.
I want to go home and nap already.
I got a lot of friends in the UK and black friends and overseas, and they do still share the same type of experiences that we share in America. So, it's not everywhere, but there is this weird stigma around the world that isn't, just solely with America. But besides that, let me ask you
they
this.
don't have the same like slave history.
Yeah, you're right. It's not.
They have more. Africa, South Africa.
No, I'm talking about like
Actually, a lot of places do, but
So when you talk about all of that, you say we don't understand that stuff. What do you mean by we Americans?
Huh?
When you was like, we don't understand that.
Oh yeah, Americans.
They were exalted and stuff, right? Right. Okay. So what do you think that? Why do you think that it's important for us to know that?
Well, I think history is important, and I've
that's just a real question, by the way. It's not.
No. I just think that history is important. Like,
because I guess I asked that question, Jake, just because it's like, all right, I can understand my history, but that doesn't change the way that shit is now. We're not treated fairly in this country.
But you need to, in my opinion, you need to get to the root of it. So you need to look at the history. Is this an anomaly now? Has this been a constant thing throughout the entire Western world, through the entirety of the United States? Has this been a constant thing through certain cultures or what have you? So we need to go ahead and research the history.
And you just kind of broke down the history. You were saying,
right?
They've been exalted, right?
Right. So what changed?
Right. What changed? The World War I.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like again, like those wars, have had a profound influence on our psyche. But theology matters. That's how you look at the objective world in a traditional sort of sense.
Okay.
And again, I mean, like, there's a reason I chose Orthodoxy, Eastern Orthodoxy, and I did not choose any of the Protestant flavors. I did not choose Catholicism. There's a specific reason.
Yep.
And that was looking at the history.
And I already do that. That's why I always like to ask you. Like, because
Latin is stupid.
You didn't just jump into some shit without doing helly research.
Like
I like learning about like what was the specifics to that drew you to not only the specific religion that he went to, but the church that he chose too. That's a big part of. I
mean, you look at Catholicism, and they had their culture in Rome that they exported and they forced on people. Everything was read in Latin. That wasn't the language of the Brits. Orthodoxy encountered the Slavs. It was like, y'all talk different than us. Let me go ahead and learn your language. And Saint Cyril and Methodius, they learned, because the Slavs had a spoken language, but they didn't have a written language. So they went ahead and learned Slavonic, which was the language of the people there at the time. And then they went ahead and took the Greek that they knew and they reformatted it a bit to go ahead and accommodate more of the Slavonic sounds, and they gave them a written language so that they could then do services in Slavonic, because there's no reason why a Russian in Moscow should be going ahead and reading the gospel in Greek where people don't know Greek.
I can tell you, listening to entire services in Latin did not help my my want to be religious.
Well, exactly, and stuff like that. So like all of those things matter, but you got to go ahead and like read the history.
To wrap this up, I think that there's just one last part that I need you to finish off on. So I'm gonna ask you this question just to wrap it up. If I'm a gay man in America in 2020, and there's still places in this country that I don't have equal rights to everybody else simply because I like to have, because I like men instead of women. That's it. I like men instead of women. And because of that, I don't have the same rights as other people. Clip that. What does knowing about the past and homosexuals in the past of the entire world, what does knowing that history do for me in 2020?
Knowing how we got to the point where everybody is so scared of somebody liking them that isn't what they like, knowing why that happened.
No, I mean,
what do you do with that knowledge, I guess?
I mean, for me personally, it would be a question of much more, what do I do? What is the point of all of this? And what do I do with that? I mean, like, honestly, like if Julia is infertile or if I'm sterile, like that's me. I have to go ahead and accept. In my opinion, so much of it comes down to the biological reality. I'm not blessed to go ahead and have children. Now, I could go ahead and doctor up my balls all I want and everything, and I can do that. But in my opinion, this is my lot in life. And now how can I go ahead and do something with this? You know, so if I was a homosexual man, like, well, okay, again, the way I would look at it is first off, from a biological perspective and be like, okay, well, I'm not having children. So now what is the point of all this if there's a biological reality? And how can I go ahead and make my mark on the world in a way that's different? I mean, if I looked at history, I would look at the arts. Tons of those guys were, you know, like you got plenty of celibate gays who were going ahead and instead of focusing on relationships, they accepted that, you know, this is my lot in life. I have these skills, so I'm going to pour myself into these. They poured it into their music and they came up with the greatest music of all time. They poured themselves into the mathematics. You know, I mean, I would like how I look at a lot of things in my life. It's a humbling thing.
I feel you.
A time to humble myself instead of trying to force me to get something that was deemed not my lot in life.
Children was deemed not your lot in life, maybe, like having biological children, but not having a relationship wasn't deemed your lot in life.
you can have a relationship without it having to be sexual. And again, what's the point of sex from a biological perspective?
Bust a nut. So what do you mean?
No, I don't like.
I would say we've evolutionarily gone past that because we do it for pleasure now as well.
Right, but that's something that we have built on top of something else. We have built this a reality of privilege and luxury on top of a much more base primal reality. And when this collapses,
reality, right?
But like things exist on top of other things. Like New York doesn't exist if there's a volcano. You know, what is it? Yellowstone goes off. Like that natural reality, it doesn't matter how fucking smart we are. It doesn't matter how the great cities that we've built or anything like that. Without that natural reality, again, I would use the term subjective reality. Like our other realities that exist on top of it crumble down because it requires a base, a foundation.
If you lost a leg, would you use a prosthetic?
Dude, I love wheelchairs, so let me sit my ass down.
Okay, you would use a wheelchair though. You would use something non-biological to help you in a biological process.
Well,
because you're not crawling everywhere.
Right.
Well, no, I'm not crawling.
If your lot in life,
I'm not crawling. You're right.
If your lot in life is that you aren't walking, then you're crawling. If you're only going to do biological,
well, no, but I mean,
that you get right.
Like I'm fine with you having a personal difference between doctoring your balls and not doctoring your balls if they don't work.
But I mean, I'm also not going ahead and trying to tell other people that they can't go ahead and use fertility methods neither.
And I think that's the key thing, that if you listen and you take that from Jake, because people will take what you said as what you think everybody should do, and that's
I got a gay brother, and I don't tell him how to live his life.
That's not the case.
And I love him.
He just specifically say this is what I would do.
I just want to know where that particular line is.
Yeah. No, that's a good question. I'm gonna have to think about it because I mean it's already been a minute.
We are done and a half already.
We'll cut it off there for a second. I got to take a dog ass piss, and then we'll jump into the torches. Dawn and you're dead again. That's my shit. I got this on Rock Band 4 too, by the way, so we can play it if you want.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not a big Rock Band fan.
Oh, why not? It's all the same shit, bro.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
No,
because Rock Band got the guitar, the drums, the bass, and the microphone, bro. Them drums go hard. What?
The drums were the shittiest part of the entire thing.
Thank you.
Y'all didn't play Rock Band 4. The 4 setup is fire.
No,
my shit a little old.
The drums are the shittiest part.
You play Rock Band 4?
We
Did you play Rock Band 4?
the last one I played was World Tour, and the drums are the exact same.
Okay, no, they're not.
No, they look the exact same.
They look, but that don't mean they are.
Trash.
You look the exact same person you was a year ago. Are you the same person?
No, that's a really good question. There's what's the thing?
But
ship of
those drums are the exact same as drums.
Well, I was like, you're not gonna compare me to them fucking drums.
I mean, actually, to a year ago, possibly I am the exact same person. It has been a fuck of a year. So
last September, we was at like our happiest.
Yeah, the ship of Theseus is a thought experiment that was apparently first discussed like 500 BC. Like it's written down by like Plato and Heraclitus or whatever, but it's like
the ship of what?
Theseus.
Okay.
So like if you're sailing a ship, and as you're sailing the ship, you're going ahead and like taking this plank off and you're putting a new plank on, and you do that all around the boat. Are you on the same boat?
Okay, yeah.
So are you the same person that you were a year ago? And your cells are constantly like sloughing off and everything like that, so are you actually the same person? Like,
if it's a year ago, if it's up to 7 years, then yes, I am skeletally the exact same person. At 8 years, I'm skeletally
I know you're not the same person from that beard.
I'm a squirt for you.
Thank you.
It's all cold in your hand.
That's how I get them. Damn, that shit smell good too.
Yeah, you're welcome.
His squirt smell good, y'all.
None of that popcorn shit.
All right, y'all. Torches by Farce of the People. So I chose this album because it was basically in the middle. So let me back up. I met a guy named Chris Synagoga.
All right.
He played ball with me at Mary Grove. He's my point guard. We connected over Lupe Fiasco. I went to the locker room one day, started rapping some Lupe. Like some old mixtape Lupe shit that you would only know if you was a Lupe fan. And he was like, "What you know about Lupe?" And I said, "White boy, what the fuck you know about Lupe? Don't you ever disrespect me like that?" And so we got it in. We started talking. And then from that day forward, I hate the way you look at me right now. Jake shows some motherfucking enthusiasm, bitch. Goddamn, I tell good stories. Anyways, we started switching albums, like kind of how we all doing now. We would just tell each other to listen to albums, right, that we fuck with. And then Farce of the People dropped, and he was like, "Listen to this shit, bro." And this was, like I said, in 2008, 2009, I was in a darker, I don't know if it's darker, but I was in like it's like a lot of emo rap at that time, a lot of Kid Cudi, in my rotation,
all up in the
Mac Mill, just all in the fields, and that's Drake dropped So Far Gone, and that was just a emotional ass album, like I was into that type of like emotional, I want to be alone, Bush, Charles Hamilton, I want to be alone type shit, right? So he was like, "Play me this," and it just took me out of the hip hop realm and snatched me over here for a little bit, because I hadn't been here since high school. Like I said, this was 2009. I ain't been in this area. I kind of stopped listening to that type of music after like 2005. It's been like 4-5 years since I was in here, and I was like, "This shit's fire." Pumped Up Kicks, I had already heard that because I was on the radio, but I never was really super impressed by Pumped Up Kicks. So when I seen it on here, I'm like, all right. But as soon as I heard the rest of this shit, I'm like, this is a fucking bop, bro. Like this shit. I can wake up in the morning in the dorms, go down to the breakfast hall, get some breakfast, bring it up to the room, and play this shit before my classes at 1:30 and feel good. Like, it was a while since I had something this different in my shit, So that's why I chose this, because it kind of brought my ass back from the I want to be alone for the rest of my life phase. And you know, kind of put me in touch with some of the other feels, and I just fuck with it. And the dude Foster, the main singer, if I remember correctly, he just moved down to LA at like 15 or 16, trying to be a musician, bro. And you know, most guys who do that, it's a rap.
That's how you end up in Tin Can Alley there.
Yeah. And you know, he ended up getting them a little band together, getting some songs. And I don't know if y'all remember, but when this album came out, like 3 of these songs is in like a bunch of commercials, bro. Pumped Up Kicks,
Oh yeah,
Helena Beat, and Call It What You Want was in like a Kia commercial. Like a few of these songs was in a bunch of commercials. So he made a lot of money off this album. And I just was really impressed. Like, you really went down there with nothing, you know, because he was one of those kids, his family like made him do music since he was a kid. And he's like, I got to get the fuck out of here. And then actually popped and actually got at least one album that rock, you know. I haven't heard nothing from them really since this album. He got a couple singles that I really like that he's dropped over the last couple years, but this
Nothing
is
where
it.
the entire album is
Yeah,
just
I don't
thrown
even
on.
know, and I got to look back because I haven't even seen them drop nothing really.
I mean,
you know? They
they're
have
still active.
Yeah, but the last shit they had was 2017 as a full album, and then 2014. So they on a one album every.
They're on a every 3 years.
Yeah,
Oh, at the bottom there was a 2020.
Yeah, this is a good single. I like this. This is just remixes of shit. So yeah, they don't really drop music like that, I guess is what I'm saying. But when they do, it's always something on these joints that I kind of like, and then that'll be about
Are they
it.
doing more live shows?
They gotta be, because I didn't even hear about this Sacred Hearts Club. This came out 3 years ago. So
that was like the thing with Linkin Park. Like, they dropped Hybrid Theory, then nothing for a long time.
Yeah.
But and then like they finally came out with something, and it was Reanimation, which was just remixes.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, it wasn't, but
I mean, pretty much was.
I thought Meteora came out before that.
Meteora. Didn't
Nope,
come
it
out
was Reanimation, and then
Meteora.
Yep.
God damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the song that I like, Worst Nights. And they
but
got
the
all the
thing is-
remixes on here. See, I drop a song and then y'all remix it 1,000 times.
But the thing is, it's not like, you
For
know,
the EDM fans out there.
it's not like Linkin Park was, you know, slouching or anything. Like, they were out there touring
I prefer-
constantly.
Imagining to remixing for a lot of those, but that's
Yeah.
semantic.
Hybrid Theory 2000.
Meteora.
2003.
Yeah, but where's
Yeah,
Reanimation?
it is Reanimation. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I guess I don't consider it a. Reanimation was a LP Underground
Well, I mean,
project, wasn't it?
Did you see it in there?
Well, go ahead and go up. Up and click on discography,
Oh, okay.
and that'll show everything there. Go down.
7 of them bitches, huh? Sheesh.
Yeah, so we got and
Alright, them the what's it called?
that's
joints.
live. So
Shout outs to live albums too, y'all. Compilation
remix
remixes. 2002.
yeah,
So this came
Okay.
out a year before Meteor.
yeah.
Okay, a little under 2 years
And then
after.
Recharge came out 2013. Sheesh. But yeah, so that's I don't know. I just really liked this album when he sent it to me. And like I said, I was in the weird, like super undergroundy hip hop shit. Like I was on the blogs every day. Who got something new? Who doing something new? So it kind of took me out of that place. And I've listened to this album, you know, at least once a year since that day. So
Now you said it had been a while since you had been into this kind of music. What would you call it?
I don't know. This is why I lean on y'all for naming. I don't know what it, I don't know. I don't know at all, bro.
Alt pop is the best I can think of.
I was gonna say pop in there somewhere.
I saw like a couple different terms like indie-tronica, neo psychedelia, which
psychedelia sound fire.
which like it's definitely got some of those vibes.
Yeah.
Like I would say proto neo,
like the
psychedelia.
M82 type.
I'm not familiar with it.
It's a band.
Oh
But
yeah.
But
It kind of the feel changes because he
Super
changes
popular.
how he sings in a lot of these
Yep.
songs too.
I thought
whether it's like
I thought Helena had a chick in it.
yeah.
That was my first thought. I was like, oh, there's a chicken.
And you named it after her. And yeah, me too, bro. And I was like, nah, this my man.
No, the one comment you made about like the upbringing and having been raised in music so much and stuff like that, I didn't know, but I could tell because like there's. I mean, like, I feel like there's such like a like, for lack of a better term, like world music vibe to so many of these songs. Like, I'm definitely feeling like some Caribbean vibes in this one, and you know, over here, like all sorts of different sorts of tones and rhythms and stuff. So like, you could tell that there are a bunch of young guys who know what the hell they're doing. Yeah, you know, like, and they were like music nerds, is what it sounded like to me.
Because they use a lot of effects in their shit too, which was different. That's not just y'all regular singing. Y'all got some good production, you know, as far as engineering, where y'all using different plugins for the voices and shit to change up how y'all sound, and even the instruments too. It's a lot of different. You know, you could tell, like, all right, the one, I like the lyrics. Two, I like the sounds, but I just know that I know they recorded the songs and spent a lot of time working on the songs after they actually hit record and shit too.
Well, so that's something that's kind of funny. Justin and I were talking about it the other day, and he does not care, has not cared at all about like music theory or any of like the technical aspects of music at all. And he would have told you, like, you know, 10 years ago, shut the fuck up, just hand me the guitar and let me play. Like, this is playing. But like, he's been reading a couple of different books. One of them specifically about like Dimebag Darrell of Pantera and how he got his sound and these different sort of things, scooping out the mids and all that jazz. And he's like, wow, like, you don't, like, playing is one thing, but like getting the sound you want, like, takes a lot of different stuff. So he's working on actually getting like several different pedals so that he could go ahead and at this stage of the loop cut out these sounds, but go ahead and do this effect afterwards and all that jazz. And he's like super fascinated by it now, whereas like before he would have hated it. So I think there's two different ways to look at using that sort of equipment. One is laziness, like you don't want to actually learn how to go ahead and make the sounds yourself, or a maturity to go ahead and know, like, well, no, this is actually how you get your own unique sound.
Well, it's like the whole T-Pain thing.
Yeah, and I was about to say, there's just certain things you can't do with your own voice.
Well, and some people auto-tune because they can't sing.
Yeah.
And then there's people who can sing, and they're like, no, this is a new instrument for me, though.
Yeah.
If you're artistically auto-tuning, I have no issue with that. It's the people who you're like, that doesn't even sound good because you can hear that robotic auto-tune is there.
And then how you gonna perform this live? Like, you gotta sing over your track.
Most live shows aren't live.
Yeah,
most
exactly.
live shows are live tracks.
Exactly. And
So,
and then in some of the videos I saw, like of them performing live,
the videos.
You could see them like dicking around with like the pedals and like altering the sound.
You gotta change that shit
and
up,
using different mics and stuff, which again I think shows like an impressive maturity for how young they were to be that musically inclined.
How old were they in 2011?
This dropped. Let's see. We're gonna have to do some maths, y'all.
Oh no. I had never
Quick math
listened to the album. I thought I had only ever listened to the one song, Pumped Up Kicks.
I'd heard a couple. I
didn't realize I had probably heard about half that album because of commercials and stuff like that. You know? I was sitting there, I was like, oh, and then like one. There's one song in particular, I can't remember which. Like I was like, I thought this was like a Maroon 5 song or something like that, because like the way it opens up in like the first verse.
Okay.
So this came out in, you said 2011?
I think so.
So it would have been 28.
Yeah. And that's what I guess that was the second point I was going to say. he went out there young, but his first album didn't pop till later. You know what I'm saying? So you had to be on a long grind artist before your shit. I think a lot of kids think that, you know, you got to be 18 to pop. No, bro. Like it's a long time before some shit pop, unless you just lucky like that.
Right.
And if you get lucky like that, a lot of time that doesn't lead to longevity. You know?
Right. Because you need a mature sort of a certain sense of maturity. But I guess that explains if he was 28, like, you know, that more mature sound is like he knows what he's been doing or what to do because he's been doing it.
He's not really a good example though, because he still ain't put shit out. But usually, I don't like saying that because a lot of times dudes like that, he probably got hella writing credits. He probably wrote a lot of shit, got production credits on a lot of shit. He probably making a lot of money from music and not having no music really out there like that. So you did your thing, Mark. Shout out to you naming you just get to be like Foster the people, and all you other motherfuckers in this group is the people.
I didn't even realize his name was Mark Foster. But
So I just had a memory that I think at one point they were going to call themselves Foster and the People or something. And then they just shortened it.
That one and get up out of here.
Yeah, it's way too much work.
It was a good album.
Pull the track list back up.
I got you.
Shout out to Houdini, though, by the way. He was Hungarian. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
Eric Weiss, yeah.
That's his real name?
Yeah. Julia and I, when we were walking around like the castle district of Budapest, and it was pretty late one night, and
that's a dog ass flex, by the way. Continue.
We had a little bit of a wine buzz going on, and walked past a Houdini museum there and stuff. And she's like, "Yeah, you didn't know he was Hungarian?" I'm like, "No,
I thought he was German."
Yeah, I thought he was crazy.
Eric Weiss, but within the Austro-Hungarian Empire. But he was,
I guess, Austrian is what I was thinking.
Yeah, like the whole album just kind of sounds like a life soundtrack almost. Like you could just have that going.
This is one that was on a lot of the commercials at the time. Don't stop, and I like "Don't Stop" because he started off the verses. His voice is kind of weird, and then he just when the hook come, he'd be like, "Don't stop, giving to me." I'm like, oh, that's a fire ass vibe you just switched it to. But yeah.
Play "Miss You" real quick.
Yeah, that's my shit too. Because once again, it starts off.
This one was dirty, and I liked it.
And it switched up on my ass. Because it started off, it starts off dirty. He got like a distortion on his vocals, and then it just switched to "I really miss you, okay."
I just love like the cadence there on the vocals, you know, like.
There were a bunch of bands around this time that had that sound, like Owl City, I think, and then M82. Is their sound still similar to this, or?
Yeah, it is. But like,
with this song, I get weird 21 Pilots feeling for some reason.
Yeah. And when you listen to a lot of these songs too, they all have like a certain meaning to them, like how Pumped Up Kicks had that hidden meaning behind them.
Well, explain that to me.
Like, I don't know, like just when you listen to Helena Beat, there's just
but what's the story behind Pumped Up Kicks?
Oh, so at the time there was a kid who went into a mall and just shot up a bunch of kids, and just out of nowhere shot them up. And so the song is just like, get your shoes on and make sure you run away. Like that's like the when somebody gets a shooting, you got to get the fuck up out of there. And then throughout the track, they kind of talk about the kids' mindset that went in there, to do the shooting, the mindset of the kids who was getting shot at in the mall, and then just really just like, you know, all them other kids with the pumped up kicks, better run, outrun my gun. Like it's just like it's simple. Yeah, it's a simple thing. Like at the end of the day, sometimes the only thing you can do is hope you outrun a bullet, dog. and there's nothing else you can do.
But everything's like, one of the things I actually really like about that song is how the bass is. Yeah. The bass, it's a very simple bass line and stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, you know, he knows what he's doing and he's just sitting in the back, you know, but, and this is all it is.
It's all it is, bro.
But it's not.
Yeah.
Because like every I don't know, probably every like 4 measures or so, he'll go ahead and like and stuff and like get like violent, like and stuff. But then he goes right back into it, you know, not trying to draw any attention, but like he knows what he's doing. Yep. And I love it when like drummers, bassists, you're not the front of the fucking band. Know your place. Get in the back. But like, and because
they can't never have they shine.
I don't know. No, they can. Okay. Just it has to go ahead and be part of the song. You know what I mean? Like you have a place and stuff. You got a time to shine.
Play your role, dog.
But don't steal. It just like don't go ahead and be doing drum solos the whole fucking time. Like this is where you live. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure. 1, 2.
Especially because y'all don't understand how music works. In my head, I've heard this song a lot. I love this song, and I want to hear it the way I hear it for most of the time. And then you switch it up. But the more special shit you do, the less special it becomes. Yeah. So stop fucking up what I'm thinking and stop trying to be too cool.
I feel like that issue is the issue with super bands. Yeah. Where everybody feels like they are the best person there.
Yeah, like I am the front man. Yeah. You play the tambourine.
Why is his name bigger than mine on the poster? Yeah. You know why, but bro.
Like, not Audio Slave. When you have like 4 of the biggest alt rockers ever.
Like, but like Rammstein, I can't remember Homeboy's name, but like the drummer,
Rammstein.
He's just
Rammstein.
He's just always, you know, like it's pretty much like 1, 2, 3, 4. He's just in the back, and it wasn't until I think Liebe ist für alle that I actually heard him open up a little bit. I was like, oh no, he could actually fucking drum. It's just he knows that the story that we're telling with this song, this is what it needs, and that sort of thing. And like that's what I got from a lot of these guys here is that like they know. Like, this is the lane I'm supposed to be in for this all to work together. Yep. You know?
And I just, you know, now that I'm thinking about this, I really want to go back and see if there's anything like a documentary on this album. Because he produces too, Mark Foster. So he make beats and shit. So I want to know how much of this is live instrumentation and how much of this is him making a beat. And then adding on instruments from his boys onto it. You know what I'm saying?
Looping it.
Yeah, you know,
live looping is cool.
Yeah, I would want to see that. Live looping is cool. So what you think? Well, you said you liked it.
I did.
But you didn't get a deep. You ain't give a.
So I do want to give it a second listen to with the lyrics up and everything because I listened to it over the course of the last week. And again, like Jake, I'd probably heard about half of the songs or so. I love that they're.
Did you realize you knew half of them, or did you not realize until you started listening? I was like, damn, I heard this before.
I think I knew of like 2, but I hadn't ever given the album a full listen. It was a good album. Each song sounded like the same band, but a different band at the exact same time. Yeah, which is one thing I love out of any artist. Where you're like, all right, it sounds like you, but it also sounds like somebody else or some other genre.
Some versatility in your songs.
But I do want to go through and do a full like lyric listen, like I do with Toxicity as well, just to get the full meaning of every song. But I always have to listen to them first. And
yeah, I feel that. But it's like it's a great lyric breakdown for all of these songs, I think, basically. Yeah.
I think the craftsmanship of those choruses was really impressive. They were all catchy. Yeah. Every single one of them.
And notice it's just 10 tracks, so they had a lot of time to just.
They were long. Some were long tracks, though. Like,
that's only 3 to 4 minutes
for that time. 4 to 5 minutes is twice as long as
don't know. I had to think back, but 2011.
Because, well, I mean,
That's kinda
I don't know.
what-
Tool's still putting out albums, so. Which I finally gave their latest one a listen. I think it came out like 2 years ago.
God
People are
damn.
pissed at me over that, but
anything else? Nah, y'all didn't watch no videos or anything because I can't remember the videos.
I didn't.
I watched the Pumped Up Kicks video.
Oh yeah.
But the playlist I was going off of, like, that was the only, or no, I actually had to find that video because I was like, I don't know, things sounded just a little bit off, so I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if like the guy who made the playlist had like altered things just a
So
little
it wouldn't
bit.
get
Just so
taken down. Yeah.
YouTube ID wouldn't be like, yo,
Yeah.
yo, it's money.
So I looked up the official video for Pumped Up Kicks because like I had heard that one before, so I had listened to Helena Beat, and then I played that one. I was like, wait a second. So I looked up the video, and I was like, no, that's the same song. I'm gonna watch this though. But which that was kind of interesting because I vaguely knew it was about some shooting, but like the video is just like people like hanging out and them going ahead and performing live.
Yeah.
So,
Which was kind of funny to me.
so because I didn't listen to Pumped Up Kicks lyrically in its entirety, is it a happy song or is it because it's I don't know how to word it.
I don't think it can be.
One of my favorite songs is from Hollywood Undead. It's called Bullet. It sounds like a super happy like song, but then when you read the lyrics, you're like, oh, this is the exact opposite.
Yeah, that's basically.
So is that what this is? Okay.
Yeah.
I recommend Bullet by
Because
Hollywood
they
Undead.
play Pumped Up Kicks in like Adidas commercials, so like he did what he was trying to do.
Right.
Like, all right, yeah. The only way y'all gonna listen is if it's catchy, and I'm gonna
Right.
catch you motherfuckers off guard.
But it's a dark.
all
I
the
mean,
other kids in like in a
like,
K-Swiss
yeah.
commercial,
so, I mean,
yeah.
I know the
No, the
lyrics,
concept. No, like
but
the actual
entire
lyrics.
song.
When you look at the lyrics, you're gonna be like, damn.
Okay.
Yeah, like so many of the songs
Tommy's got
sounded
a
like
quick hand. Like that's how you start off. Like,
I find it interesting, and maybe it's my unfamiliarity with like the genre, but like
of neo psychedelia, that genre.
indie-tronica, but like so much of the tracks sounded so similar to one another, yet were also so very different, and then also could go ahead and convey one emotion at a certain level, but other emotions at other levels. And like I said, at one point, like I was like, wait, I thought this used I used to think this was like a Maroon 5 song. You know, and you had compared them to
One
couple
song
of bands.
sounded like 21 Pilots. There's been
yeah, and stuff like that. So, and the ability to sort of like, again, I don't know if it's my ignorance or not, but like the ability to blend in while still being unique was like kind of interesting because, like I said, I had heard half these songs and had no idea it was them because all I'd ever known was that it was Pumped Up Kicks.
Well, I mean, if you heard them and you didn't know who made that song, then you're already doing weird mental calculations of who it could be, anyways, like unconscious.
Exactly. This like they sound. Is it? I don't know how to explain it, but you're right. Unless you know they made this song.
Especially with the one vocalist.
Even if I knew about
sounding
Foster the People and you played this song, I don't know if I would have been able to be like, that's Foster the People without ever hearing the song. I have to know that, oh, I know this song. I know who made it. It's Foster the People.
I also could have been like, oh, they got a guest vocalist for every track. But no, it's just one dude who's super fucking talented.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed that apparently Ruby is like an extra track, like bonus track on something, because I really enjoyed that one. And that was coming on like the end of the list. But.
Yeah, this must have been a single or something that they threw out there afterwards. But it came out around the same time, though. So this
2011, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Look at all the remixes they do for all these songs, because this was also one of those things. I started going out to Royal Oak and shit to party around this time. So, and you know how the Royal Oak DJs do. This is when that EDM
Go up to like fifth or something.
and you know the EDM DJ in there, and they'll play a song that you like, and then switch that motherfucker up.
All of their
watch the breakdown. Every song,
and that is how bad it actually sounds in Royal Oak, because they're just not.
But you jerk off a fucking $4 Jack and Cokes, and you don't give a damn no more. Whiskey sours that taste more sour than whiskey.
All of their, I mean, I'm thinking back. All of their songs do mix pretty well into an EDM, like an EDM mix of some sort. Yeah. Like they could be faded into.
There was a lot of they shit getting. That's why I'm not surprised to see it on here. I'm surprised that they put it on Spotify though. You don't usually see this many remixes of your shit like on Spotify, but
they were doing the remixing.
Yeah,
right?
they were.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like an interesting lane to sort
But I didn't know that till I just seen it. I thought other people was doing the remixes. They must have just been playing them in their shit.
Like I feel like it's just kind of like a really interesting lane to like,
exactly,
you know, to go ahead and choose and like just go hard at it and stuff, you know, like again,
That's
it's general enough for
in.
Everyone to go ahead and be pulled in, but it's also got that like when I was listening to it again on the way here and stuff, and like I think I was coming up the expressway and Helena Beat was on, and I'm like this would be in a movie for like a road trip. I feel like, you know, like you got everyone going on a trip, you know, and that's playing, and like you got a montage and shit like that, and like
played in a couple movies for sure.
Like there's one way to look at it as being like commercial and all that jazz, but like I mean he'd been trying to do this for how long, and
that's what I'm saying, and so he figured out I can talk. Sometimes I want to disappear. That's Houdini. Like I want to be alone. I don't want to be around you. But why do you make that sound so fun? Like, why does this song sound so happy? Like, it's fire, bro. I don't know. And then so all these songs, all like it was. You know me. I just love lyrics. All these songs, like you, I listen to the same way you listen. Wise like the first time it was just like, oh, this shit sound good. And then one day you just on a bus ride back after losing a game, you know, by 20 points, and you throw this shit on, and you're like, damn, what's he talking about on this shit? Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. Hey, Chris, you know this? And now me and Chris in a lyric breakdown of some shit outside of rap that never happened before. So that's what it was fire.
Yeah, I think pop art in general is kind of like a fascinating thing to go ahead and make something that's true art. That is authentic, while also being like
to touch the masses.
Vague enough that you can look at it from your perspective and get something, and then you can look at it, and then you're in a different sort of mood, and now you're looking at it completely different. It's like a diamond with a bunch of different facets on it, like that ruby.
That
you know,
ruby
and stuff, and that takes a lot of skill.
Yeah, it does. It really does. All right,
I'm glad that you had us listen to it.
We have a follow-up album of some sort.
Is it on Jake or Waz?
I think it's on Jake, and next week I've already got my number one album picked.
Okay.
20th anniversary coming up.
Well, I'm gonna throw us back real deep. You ready for this?
It's not called Real Deep?
No.
Okay.
Real
from 1971.
It's called Real
Tom Waits' Closing Time.
How you spell Waits, sis?
W-A-I-T. Yeah. Tom Waits.
Oh, like, okay, you're saying it possessively.
Well, yeah.
Tom Wait.
Well, no.
Closing time.
Put an S on
okay, I got you.
Capitalize that T, please.
No.
You spelled semisonic wrong.
Where?
At the beginning.
No, I didn't.
No, it's a joke.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's
that one went over my head.
Okay. Semisonic had one actual hit, and it was called Closing Time, and it was played at every bar, everywhere.
Yeah, so it's very different. Enjoy. I've been on a bit of a Tom Waits kick lately, and it was hard for me to settle on that.
This Tom right there.
That's Tom, the devil himself.
He dropped in 71, eh? Or dropped this in 71 at least.
Yeah,
and he's
Closing Time's his first album.
I just want to hear.
He was a young boy. He was like 20.
I want to hear the very first 10 seconds of the opening song.
We won't do that here. I'll do it after. 71, man. You've been making music for a long... And these is full-length albums.
Dude, and I'm telling you, honestly, like, I want to go at, like... and that was the difficult thing about it.
Choosing one that you wanted. Look at all the music this guy's put out. Oh, my fucking God.
Because you will... like, you listen to some of his other music, like some of his later albums, and it's like, this is not the same guy. There's no reason for him to go from
early years on here, bro. Hold on.
Do you have the right album name?
I didn't put the album. I just put Tom Waits in.
Yeah, no, that's just a great
91. Okay.
Closing Time. All right, we'll find it.
Let's see here. So he was born in 49, so yeah. So
remastered. Do I have to
we probably want to wrap this up because.
Yes. Okay, this is the No Consistence podcast.
Peace. That music itself is look.
That boy is Benny Hanna.